Hokage. My Nine Tails, Infinite Resurrection. Chapter 21. Qingling Shinobi Village. Surrounded by mountains on both sides, the scenery is beautiful. A week ago, the villages of Sunain and Konoha suffered heavy losses here. Among them, the more than 100 people led by Kakashi are all unknown whether they are alive or dead, and the fourth generation of mechas Rasa and 20 shinobi of Sand Hidden Village are also missing. The name of the spirit shadow resounded in the ninja world. No one dares to take risks lightly. Sarutobi Hinata, Danzo, Rasa, Kakashi, and Moritsuru all disappeared one by one. It means that Qingling Ninja Village is truly established. Anyone who wants to come to find fault, even night raids, must weigh their own weight. Early morning. Kakashi and Rasa's shadow doppelgangers are plowing a rice field. The Chunin exam is about to begin. Yes, it's a pity that we won't be able to get it in a short time. Be here. At every important checkpoint in the village, there are guards on the mountains and guards in the forest. Without exception, they are all shadow doppelgangers of Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha. Recently, Iroh also got involved and became a member of the guard. The village has obviously prospered a lot. This has increased to nearly 30 households. There are also more than 200 middle ninja, and the ninja school is also in full swing. The village is lively most of the time. During this period, more than once, they tried to escape, but they all failed. What about Orochimaru's guy? Kakashi asked curiously. He now had another idea of escape. I always felt that the kaleidoscope writing wheel I should still have an ability, but he couldn't think of it, let alone use it. Kakashi didn't know that in fact, Sasuke used other Tenjin to modify part of his will, and the development of the Sharingan only stayed at the Sengokutama stage. In other words, as long as Sasuke does not modify this order, he will not be able to use Kamui for the rest of his life. Unless, only by truly becoming a member of the village and recognizing the identity of the ninja of Qingling Ninja Village from the bottom of your heart can you self-undo the will modification of other heavenly gods. Luo Sha was reborn in the cocoon of Qingling Village. A large part of the reason for staying here is the awakening of my love for Luo. 1 week, enough time for the village to elect a new 5th generation Wind Shadow. I must have already left to take the Chu Ninja exam. And even if he stays in Qingling Ninja Village permanently after retirement. Think of this. Luo Sha couldn't help but feel sorry for the big snake pill. As one of the 3 shinobi, it must be painful to be trapped here. The same Senju Tsunade had recently become the 5th generation Hokage. And Jiraiya temporarily stayed in the village to help, which was simply a tiger boost. He should have gone to the Ninja Academy as if the study had been extended to 8 years. The first 5 years are the foundation, and graduation can become a shinobi. The last 3 years are intensive training, and after graduation, you can be promoted to middle school ninja. When Luo Sha said this, he also had a trace of doubts. Did you find out? Well, our abilities are sealed. Kakashi nodded in agreement. They all regained consciousness about 6 days ago, a day later than Luo Sha. Including the Great Snake Pill, some of its own abilities were temporarily sealed by modifying their will. It should be the role of other gods. This can actually be seen as a kind of seal, through illusion, permanently modifying the will, to the point of sealing a certain ability. The basic strength of Qingling Ninja Village is not strong, and the ninjas from Sand Hidden Village and Konoha Village are just forced to work. And the students of the Ninja Academy have at least 8 years to grow, and even if there are geniuses, according to the previous rules, it will take 2 years to stand out. They fought at the top, and the 9-tailed demon fox became a spirit shadow, and they personally cultivated 2 powerful disciples. It is equivalent to a ninja god, plus 2 perfect 9-tailed pillar powers. It is enough to run amok in any one force. After Luo Sha analyzed, there was no fear in his eyes, but awe. At first, he also thought that other gods had modified the will of Maeluo. After a period of life, it was convinced that only Kakashi and Orochimaru in the entire village had some of their abilities sealed. Everyone else is unharmed. Only then was he sure that it was safe, and what shocked him even more was the palm he saw with his own eyes before he fell into a coma. The chakra of that palm is far superior to Shuhei in both quantity and quality. One slap is enough to destroy a ninja village. Even so, Qingling still guarded the ninja village and did not fight around, which convinced him. Its true strength is very likely to reach the level of the ninja god, the thousand-hand pillar. It seems that the ninja world has long been surging with an undercurrent. Ninja god. The spirit shadow is actually the Nine Tails, who has been hit by illusion more than once, and has also been personally caught by the lord of the Senju pillar, Uchiha Madara himself. The strength cannot be comparable to the ninja god. Kakashi didn't admit that assumption, he had also seen the green spirit strike in Konoha. It seems that it is indeed very strong, but it is also just a special means to be able to come back from the dead after dying with the 3 generations of Hokage. Do it again, and you should die the same. He thought to himself, it's a pity that he didn't seize the opportunity that time, if he can destroy Naruto's body as well, he should not be able to come back to life. No, he is far more powerful than you think. Luo Sha smiled, he picked up a nori sushi and ate it silently. It's quiet and natural, I really hope that everyone in Cheyenne village can live such a life. Thinking of this, he continued to Kakashi, Kakashi. Do you remember why your father died? He heard this silent topic. Kakashi was speechless. His father, Kiki Shuo Shigeru, known as Konoha's White Fang, died in the midst of people's gossip. Before I was defeated, I heard a word. What words? Kakashi was curious about what had changed someone as stubborn as Rasha. In terms of age, Luo Sha is older than him, and belongs to the same era as the 4th generation of Hokage and Bofeng Shuaman. You should have your own firm ninja and will. That voice said, live to make up for regrets. Stay alive. Make up for the regrets. In a word, it is like a Daigo empowerment. The small cup of oolong tea in Kakashi's hand rippled. He looked into the distance and saw the shadow doppelganger of my arrow standing on the roof, looking around. I thought, this child should be Luo Sha's regret. Although I don't know what kind of relationship it was in the past, Luo seems to be a very sensible child. But what about him? And how many regrets? Fathers, teachers, partners, beloved, it seems that none of them have been kept. At this moment, his eyes suddenly hurt. It hurts. Chakra is constantly pouring into the kaleidoscope chakra eye, as if to unlock his inner ability and prove to him that the man called Obito has come. But he couldn't. Kimu Shuamao, Bofeng Shuaman, and Lin have become passers-by in life, so fast that nothing is left. Only one eye with soil. With blood still flowing in his body. That's his regret. Where are you going? Luo Sha couldn't help laughing, even he didn't notice it. After coming here, he laughed so hard that even the nasolabial folds were heavier. Ninja Academy, find Sasuke Uchiha and make up for it. Regretful. Quote. Leaves flying. Kakashi disappeared in teleportation and appeared at the door of the Ninja Academy. Punch me. Run the chakra in your body, constantly impact your own Rendu-2 veins, warm the muscles, internal organs, bones, flesh and blood of the whole body. Naruto kept shaking his fists and also ran the chakra to temper. The children studied awkwardly, and their eyes were full of joy. It feels stronger and stronger. What puzzled Kakashi was. In a group of students, there was also a big snake pill, who was shaking his fist sweating like rain, and his face was full of ecstasy. Get ready, use your chakra to warm up your 8 veins, don't let your guard down, and remember to follow the way of the spirit shadow. Let chakra walk in the body for a little week, feel it. Chakra is making the body more and more powerful in this container. Naruto withdrew his fist. The most basic of chakra martial arts is an apprentice, he relies on his body to be strong enough, and chakra has a large amount. Therefore, he stepped into the first step of chakra martial arts as quickly as possible. At present, it is the 5th weight of chakra quenching body, and the body has transformed 3 times in the 1st, 3rd, and 5th weights. When breaking through to the 7th, the 9th will transform once. The big snake pill mixed in with the elementary school students successfully stepped into the 3rd weight of quenching yesterday. Every transformation of the body will make the container of the body stronger and stronger. The chakra that can be accommodated, both in quality and quantity, has been significantly improved. Physical strength, mental willpower will rise. The big snake pill originally thought that he would have to go to great lengths to find a new container before this body life was exhausted. I never expected it. A trip to Qingling Ninja Village opened up a new possibility of eternal life for him. He had gone to the underground chamber to ask Sasuke, and the other party only answered. The quenching of chakra martial Dao is only the first step. It was studied by the elementary school of the Ninja Academy. Only the elite department can learn the second step, martial arts under patience. Just an apprentice can transform a body 5 times. The big snake pill's increasingly collapsed body has changed. If you can survive to the martial arts endure, it is said that you can easily survive for hundreds of years. Shinobu in martial arts can live 200 years. Martial arts shinobi condenses chakra Jinden, can live 500 years old. Orochimaru wanted immortality, and he had seen a kind of heat in Sasuke's eyes and contempt for the ignorant Orochimaru. Eternal life. That's just the 6th step. Sasuke said. There are 7 steps in the chakra martial way. 6 steps is enough to live forever in the ninja world, what if it's the 7th step? The big snake pill can only think of one possibility, immortal and immortal. If he hadn't cured some of the hidden diseases in his body after 2 transformations, he wouldn't have pursued chakra martial arts so fanatically. The big snake pill firmly believed that as long as he could step into the realm of martial arts forbearance, he will definitely be able to cure all his hidden diseases, and even extend his life expectancy by at least 10 years. Kakashi stood in place, silently watching the children cultivate. What kind of cultivation is this? Physical surgery. From his perception, he perceives that everyone is constantly consuming chakra. Isn't this a waste? Why is it that the great snake pill, one of the 3 ninjas, is it that he is influenced by Sasuke's illusion and permanently modifies his will? More and more confusion made Kakashi unable to move. Sasuke was clearly not here. It should be that the body is cultivated in the underground secret room. Do you want to ask Naruto if this is an idiot? It seems that he knows nothing. Bang! Just as Kakashi's thoughts were racing, a puff of smoke cleared. The stone sculpture of the 9-tailed fox, which was only the size of a palm, moved. Chakra covered, the little 9 tails soon came to life. Chakra, which jumped like a flame, made Kakashi's eyes light up. You're troubled, little one. You look smaller. In terms of actual age, anyone in the ninja world is a little guy in front of me. For some reason, Qingling's perception of goodwill and malice became stronger and stronger. Most of these people who were within the confines of his Qingling ninja village had already been transformed by him and connected to his chakra. Therefore, the perception is clearer. When Kakashi reveals sadness, the essence of the green spirit puts part of its will and chakra on the stone sculpture. Just a palm-sized stone sculpture because with your chakra is so powerful. Why? If it is your being, is it enough to live forever? Kakashi didn't know what to say. He knew that everyone would die one day. When he spoke of eternal life, even he did not expect it. Eternal life, what is taboo, what a charming word. Qingling used the 2 front paws as pillows, lay on the small stake, and cocked 9 small tails. I spend most of my life resting, because what I like and love is rest, and I only spend a little time awake and want to change something. He yawned and squinted comfortably. The sun shone on him, as if it was a layer of brilliance. Sato closed his eyes and said, Hey, Kakashi, if you could create a new world, would you like everyone to be a ninja, or would no one be a ninja anymore? Quote. This question. So strange. Kakashi hesitated for a moment, recalled the painful memories of his life, and uttered a very surprising answer. If I could, I would like to see no more ninjas in this world, which means no war, no assassinations, and no people being displaced. Qingling smiled noncommittally. Stretched out a small hand. Then go and try it, start again, at least become a subordinate of my Qingling ninja village first. Kakashi didn't expect that the green spirit's little paw would slap on his shoulder. In a flash, there seemed to be an extra line in his body that connected with the green spirit, and then his body began to undergo a trace of transformation. Between the constant changes, he had 2 sources of chakra in his body, but they did not conflict with each other. Until the end, chakra became more and more. Meanwhile, his kaleidoscopic chakra eye also unsealed. Qingling closed his 9-hook jade reincarnation writing wheel eye and reincarnation eye, and turned over again as if he had done nothing. After this Chunin exam, the daimyo of the Land of Wind will overwhelm the realm, and a large number of ninjas and samurai will face us with swords. The major ninja villages will also send ninjas who are independent to infiltrate our village. You have to take good care of everyone, Kakashi. Quote. The chakra of the green spirit gradually disappeared, blowing in the breeze, like golden particles one by one, which was particularly dreamy. Hey! Who wants to protect you? I'm Konoha Shinobu, Kakashi Kiki. Kakashi didn't elicit a new answer. It made him a little bottomless. The seals are all unsealed, and you can definitely escape from here. However, when he looked up and saw Naruto all over the village, Sasuke, Luo, he fell silent again. The three-tailed orc pillar power, chakra can't use it all, how can he fight? The enemy is all over the mountains. As a last resort, he could only continue to lurk for Konoha's sake. He touched his blindfold and sensed that the kaleidoscope chakra eye had returned again, and his heart couldn't help but feel a little more joyful. It is still two words whether to protect the Qingling ninja village or not, but this eye must be protected with all its might. In order to detect the enemy, Kakashi stood up and walked into the ninja academy. On the wall, he saw a portrait of himself, along with a line of handwriting. Kiki Kakashi, Qingling Shinobi Village, Ninja Academy, Vice Dean of the Elite Department. He has long been calculated. There is an office reserved exclusively for him. There was a desk inside, and under the nine-tailed seal, there was also a piece of paper pressed. There is a simple sentence written on the outside. Do you care about him? Kakashi instinctively gave goosebumps. Open the envelope that Qingling had already prepared. The room was instantly sealed by the nine-tailed chakra, and the outside world probed this chakra. Kakashi cautiously looked at the handwriting on the side, each word touching his heart. This is intelligence. Uchiha Obito. Alias. Fei. Appearance characteristics. Pineapple swirl mask. Fake identity. Uchiha Spot. Work. Destroy the world. Company. Shell organization. Kakashi was stunned at first. The first thing he thought of was not to doubt the authenticity of this information, but to remember all the words. Impossible. This is impossible. If Obito is still alive, why didn't he come to me? When questioning, the envelope burned quickly, and a cloud of nine-tailed chakra condensed in the flames. They come together into a pattern, constantly changing and intertwining into different forms. The scene is when Obito is crushed to death under a large rock. And Kakashi, Rin. Nine Tails, where did you know the intelligence? Only a very few people know about this matter. Could it be that there is a nine-tailed fox in the upper echelons of the village? The picture changes. It turns out that Obito did not die, but he also lost his soul and became a wasted person. He meets another dying man, the real Uchiha. The picture is not dubbed, but there are lines of subtitles composed of chakra. Obito, who is recovering from his wounds, is rushing to find Rin. At this moment, he saw the most sad scene in his life from his perspective. Kakashi has Ratchet killing Rin. Open the kaleidoscope chakra eye. This teenager, who talks to himself even with his abilities, is determined to create a world with Rin. Was he there then? Kakashi couldn't believe it. In fact, it was all a misunderstanding, not that he really wanted to kill Rin. It was Rin who chose death herself. The picture changes again. The boy gave birth to dragon scales from the dragon slayer, transformed into an evil dragon, and controlled the nine tails when Jushinai was at his most vulnerable. Set off that tragic night. There was a hint of sadness in Kakashi's eyes, and he knew that with the wisdom of the Feng Shuiman, he would definitely see the clues in the battle. But the teacher, he learned that it was his own student who attacked Konoha, and it was he who caused a tragedy for his whole family. Will it be sad inside? Kakashi remembers that Wave Feng Shui men died with Jushinai with a smile on his face. The picture is reversed again. Obito has completely changed into a person and wanders the ninja world as a suspected Uchiha Spot. Everyone in the Shao organization stood in front of him, his hands full of silk threads, pulling them. And behind him, there is an even bigger phantom, Uchiha Madara. Like a Matryoshka doll, behind Uchiha is Kuro. Heiju snuggled up next to Kagaya Itsuki. What exactly does this final ending picture mean? Swish. The chakra projection ends, and everything disappears like a dream bubble. Chakra shields and seals, forbidden techniques are all converged. Kakashi returned to this gentle little village again. The sun is still there, but the breeze is not dry. Is it true? He asked himself in his heart. Suddenly. Without hesitation, Kakashi opened the window, the curtains were rolled up, and he kept moving around the village and running towards the underground chamber. Nine-tailed fox. How many secrets do you, the self-proclaimed Qingling, know? Underground chamber. Uchiha Sasuke felt Kakashi's breath and looked at him. What are you going to do? Judging from the aura on his body, he had broken through to the 6th level of the quenching body, and he was only one step away from the 7th layer. When he went to concentrate on teaching his disciples, Naruto would come to study. At present, the upper level of the village, I love Luo on the 3rd layer, Luo Sha on the 2nd layer, and others can only touch the 1st layer at most. The 4th layer is Naruto and Sasuke. The 5th layer is the god of the village, the 1st generation of Mei Lingying, Qingling. I'm here to find the 9 tails. Qingling Sensei's chakra has appeared in the village, proving that he has given you the answer you want. Sasuke simply refused. No one can disturb the Qingling rest. I just want the truth, what he said, whether it is true or false. Kakashi didn't dare to take half a step back, he was ready to deal with the illusion before he came, only opening one kaleidoscopic chakra eye, the other eye always closed. Kamui. Since you don't give in, you can only do it. The space around Sasuke was distorted, he was extremely fast, and after quenching the 6th weight, even if he didn't use physical skills, his speed was just as fast. However, at the moment he dodged, the 9-tailed sculpture behind him suddenly fell into the divine power space. Teacher Qingling. Sasuke didn't expect that ginger was still old and spicy. It turned out that Kakashi had been trying to make the sculpture fall to the ground so that the green spirit could notice. Just a moment before the sculpture disappeared. The 2 eyes flashed and lit up with orange light. However, until it disappeared, there was no more Qingling chakra. Failed. Kakashi sighed helplessly. What followed was a bitter battle, but in order to truly obtain the truth from the green spirit, he was also forced to do so. The two thus formed an impasse. Sasuke wanted to continue his hand, but Qingling transmitted a voice inside him, telling him to wait a little longer. Don't move, just stand here, Kakashi. Kakashi didn't speak, he understood that since Sasuke didn't make a move, it must have been the meaning of the green spirit. Is there still a turnaround in things? As far as he knows, everything that is distorted by Shinwei has no return. At this moment, the mood calmed down a little. Kakashi just discovered an amazing fact. He used Shinwei once, and there was still a large amount of chakra in his body. Could it be the source of the new chakra infused by the 9 tails? Right now, the ground behind Kakashi suddenly trembled, and I saw a new chakra 9 tails sculpture slowly rising from the sunken floor. His eyes emitted a strange orange light. Immediately afterwards, 2 color screens appeared. One was smaller, and inside was Kakashi, who was stunned. The other was pitch black and couldn't see anything. Chakra video call starts. Kakashi, if you want to know the answer, just ask for yourself. Qingling's voice disappeared. The black screen without a picture suddenly appeared bright. Over there is a voice that is complaining. Did this guy Kakashi do it again? A sculpture. Or the 9 tails, does he hate the 9 tails so much? Throw garbage in my space all day long. Don't make me go to Konoha. The teenager wore a swirling pineapple mask. The voice is a little deliberately frivolous, but it is still the voice of the old man under careful listening. When the eyes of the chakra sculpture burst into light, turn on the chakra video call. When he saw another dazed face, Obito was stunned for a moment. Immediately missed and dropped the 9 tails sculpture. Chakra video call, still going on. Are you okay? Bring soil. Kakashi had thought that he would be happy because of the long absence, and would be sad because of the death of his teacher, Feng Shuaman. In the end, what blurted out was a greeting. It's him, stupid. When alone, the mouth will also spit crookedly. There were 4 of us, and in the blink of an eye there were only 2 left. As long as you look back in the crowd, I can recognize you, Obito. Who is Obito? I'm not Obito, Kakashi, you guy, how did you perceive this spatial principle? Obito's explanation pales in comparison. The other side of the picture. Kakashi's closed eyes were tears that could no longer be stopped. It would have been nice to have been earlier. Save Lin together earlier. Resolve the misunderstanding earlier. Find you sooner. Tell the teacher earlier. There are so many regrets. Obito. You idiot. Quote. This time. Kakashi gaffed roar. There was no denial from the youth. That fool was stunned in place for a long time. His eyes were covered by the mask and tears welled up. What to cry? Do you think you can get back everything you lost? Kakashi. He kept cursing in his heart. Friendly reminder, the video call is over in 3 minutes. Nani. When you see a prompt on the screen, from Qingling. Both Obito and Kakashi were stunned for a moment. What the hell is this Nine Tails doing? Why is it only 3 minutes? What kind of ninjutsu is this? Obito learned from Uchiha Ban, even yin and yang, but he didn't understand the origin of this sculpture. This object is a chakra multifunctional mobile sculpture, which I refined with spiritual power and chakra, and imprinted my traces. Therefore, no one can drive until my will before this is erased. If you want to erase this will, your spiritual power must be stronger than mine. So far, only this one time, 3-minute video call has been available to you. Qingling's words made Obito very dissatisfied. He just wanted to speak. How did he encounter a prick? Nine Tails, your chakra is familiar to me, do you think you can hide it from me? The third generation of Hokage possesses a similar ninjutsu, a crystal ball. This should also be a ninjutsu that has been set up in advance. Obito said and directly used his pupil power to try to erase the chakra imprinted on the green spirit. The result is useless. He simply can't do it. How is it possible? Looking at the ninja world, his pupil power attainment is definitely the best, except for Uchiha Itachi, who can compete with him. Why is it useless? Be quiet, your spiritual power is also a martial arts middle ninja level, and it is too far from me, go back and practice again. Martial arts shinobi. What is this? Friendly reminder, there is still last-minute talk time left. The subtitles appear again. Obito was panicked by Qingling's operation, and quickly spoke, Kakashi, where the hell is this guy of yours? Shouldn't that be the question I asked you? Why didn't you return to Ninja Village for so many years? Was teacher Bofeng Shuaman really killed by you? Kakashi was obviously more anxious, and the moment he confirmed that Obito was alive, he couldn't wait to know whether the information that Qingling had given him was true or false. You don't need to know. You are too naive, Kakashi. What I want to create will be a perfect, Rin world. The tone of Obito is unquestionable, and it also confirms the truth of the intelligence on the side. Where are you? Obito, I must find you. Kakashi questioned. He couldn't determine its location through the scene on Obito's side, it seemed like it was a unique space. Find me. Ridiculous, you'll never know where I am, but I'll find you soon, Kakashi. Obito's tone was tinged with resentment, he could never forgive Kakashi. Suddenly, chakra video calls shut down and went dark. Kakashi's eyes darkened, and then another light appeared. Where are you going? Qingling Ninja Village. Not going back to Konoha. If Obito is really the mastermind behind the control of you in the first place, then my return to Konoha Village will only bring danger to everyone. Kakashi said to the Nine Tails sculpture. On the sculpture, chakra has basically faded, leaving only 2 eyes that radiate light. Young man is hard-mouthed. Go, I can't wait to see you humans cannibalize. It won't make you happy. Kakashi couldn't tell whether the green spirit was talking about the wind or the agitation. You can't live here and eat and drink for nothing. The eyes of the nine-tailed fox sculpture flashed, and chakra was exhausted. Before Obito comes, I will be the deputy head of the elite department of the Ninja Academy. Before leaving the underground chamber, Kakashi glanced meaningfully at Sasuke. Today, it was a little difficult for him to confirm whether that rainy night that escaped from Konoha village was right or wrong for Naruto and Sasuke. He thought that he would never become a traitor. Absolutely not. As Kakashi left, the last chakra in the sculpture's eyes was exhausted, and the floor moved, sinking into the ground again. Kamui space. Obito was holding the nine-tailed chakra sculpture in his arms, looking confused. Unlike Kakashi's side, the chakra of this sculpture is still flowing. Nine Tails, have you forgotten that you were controlled by me? Obito smiled coldly. He firmly believed that if he could win once, there would be a second time. Let's not mention that your current spiritual power is far weaker than mine, and your eyes are not just used to use illusions. Compared to my Qingling, do you have this strength? Will you answer? Hearing Qingling's words, Obito found it interesting. He had already activated the illusion to control a part of the chakra that the tailed beast had separated. However, no matter how hard he tried, he could not do it as if he wanted to erase his traces. You are too weak, your body is weak, your chakra is weak, and your mental power is weak, so sooner or later you will be overloaded. My suggestion is to cultivate chakra martial Tao. Chakra Budo. Hear this inexplicable word. Obito, who could not control the sculpture of the nine-tailed chakra with illusion, had no time to care. Uchiha Obito, don't harass me with your shallow chakra and illusion, but if you encountered it 3 months earlier, you might still be able to succeed. Qingling had been hit by other heavenly gods before. The increase in the infinite resurrection system refers to all aspects of improvement, including spiritual power. After eating the chakra fruit, it was even more like the sky. A 9-hook jade reincarnation writing wheel eye, an ultimate reincarnation eye. You think I'll believe you? Obito did not hesitate to open the kaleidoscope chakra eye again. This time, Qingling directly stopped sealing the power of his sculpture. With his eyes open, his spiritual power was unmatched, and he directly crushed and ignored Obito's illusion and pupil power. How is this possible? You are a tailed beast, how can you have such power? Obito couldn't believe it, he only felt that Qingling was bluffing. What if the originally orange nine-tailed chakra transformed into a turquoise chakra in an instant? Reincarnation eye chakra mode. Swish. With a grasp of his small paw, he directly dragged Obito over. Your pupil power is nothing more than a kaleidoscope of chakra eyes, and on top of this there is an eternal kaleidoscope. Even if reincarnation writes the eye of the wheel, there are 6-hook jade, and above this is the 9-hook jade. As Qingling spoke, Obito, who was ready to start, suddenly froze in place. Go to the spirit world and spend some time in the spirit world, and experience the pain of Rin, Kakashi, and Wave Feng Shuaman. In fact, but a little later, it was the time of the Fourth Ninja World War. Obito, this transplanted chakra eye will become a reincarnation eye. At that time, it will not be defeated so quickly. The current two are not at the same level at all. Within the spirit world, Obito with illusion in his body is fighting with the green spirit in the divine power space. After some fighting, he realized that Qingling had created a medium film using illusion and ninjutsu to resist illusion. Fortunately, his divine power can pass through the medium and directly attack his body. By attacking the true entity, control it again with illusion. What 9-hook jade reincarnation writing wheel eyes, reincarnation eyes, is just this special defensive ninjutsu, creating an illusion for people. Where in the world is there such a perverted existence? Obito triumphed all the way until the Fourth Ninja World War was set off, all kinds of costumes, all kinds of beatings, and also knew the truth of that year. Until he died with the double divine power. Go to that world with Rin. Qingling's chakra sculpture is still turquoise, and it looks comfortably with a silly smile. He threw the Hokage script that originally belonged to Obito to the spirit world. Let Obito go through it all directly. Next second. Thinking that he was going to the Obito of the underworld, he opened his eyes. Lin. He took Qingling directly into his arms. Well, how is there no Lin's scent and tenderness? Only a stone-like thing. Obito mobbed for a moment. It was not Rin who was found in his arms, but the 9-tailed chakra sculpture. 9 tails. Calm down, even if it's an illusion, you've experienced a lifetime, haven't you? True and false, false and false, life is like a dream. Ching. Lingyun's light words made Obito even more annoyed. Everything that was experienced in the illusion just now felt so real. Could it be that Rin is really controlled, and everything is a conspiracy of Uchiha? No. This is all the illusion created by the green spirit for him, the hateful 9 tails. The more angry you are, the more you care, Obito, and I don't argue with you. If you want to know more about the truth, bring a strand of Lin's hair, or broken bones, and Baiju. I have a forbidden spell that allows you to see Rin again. Quote. The chakra of the blue spirit gradually disappeared. Until there is no more light on the sculpture. It looks unremarkable. But when Obito tried to perceive with the kaleidoscope chakra eye, he could still feel a power, which should be the spiritual power imprint that Qingling said. Strange, what is the spiritual power imprint? Is it related to that martial arts middle ninja? Can't figure it out. Without finding the 9 tails and Kakashi, there is no answer to this question. No matter what means he has, I won't let him summon Lin, that's blasphemy against Rin. However, why does this guy of the Nine Tails call himself a green spirit, and where is Kakashi? During the time I was cultivating in the mist-hidden village, what happened outside? Quote. Obito doesn't know yet. After he used illusion to control the water shadow early, during this time, he was indeed practicing in retreat, but the outside world was obviously more outrageous than he thought. Get out of the retreat. Heiju had already appeared in front of him. The two work together perfectly, and everyone in the Xiao organization is played together. Originally, according to the previous habit, Obito would probably speak in the state of A-Fei. But now, I have experienced the script in the spirit world. When he looked at Heiju, he instinctively had a resistance. Although I kept telling myself deep down that it was just illusion and could not be taken seriously. One thought of Uchiha as a praying mantis cicada catcher. Kuroki and Kagaya Itsuki are Yellow Sparrow behind. He had a feeling of discomfort. You finally came out. During this time, a lot of big things have happened in the ninja world. Kuro chattered, in fact. As long as he leans over Obito, he can't go anywhere. It's just that when cultivating with soil, he pays more attention to the overall changes. After all, in Heiji's eyes, Obito is just a pawn that has been played in the palm of his hand. Oh, isn't everything under our control? Quote. Obito pretended not to know anything. Kuro was overjoyed, so he sent Konoha's Nine Tails Rebellion, successively let Tuan Zhang, and 8 Flying Sun fall. The last of Uchiha also defected to Konoha village. The son of the 4th generation of Mecca's Shadow of Cheyenne village led a team to infiltrate Qingling Ninja village, and the whole army was destroyed. Konoha, Tsunahide teamed up, and the 4th generation of Mechazekage and Kakashi personally led the team, and none survived. After saying one big thing after another, Heiju said happily, Ninetails and Aikyo are now in Qingling Ninja village. As long as Xiao sends out 2 squads at the same time, they can be captured, and they are not as big as the threat of Konoha and Sand Hidden village. Obito only smiled bitterly behind the mask. No wonder, the Nine Tails called themselves Qingling, it turned out to be such a thing. In the blink of an eye, the ninja world is constantly happening. Where is Qingling Ninja village? Of course I have the exact location. Heiju said and took out the map. He said helplessly, it's a pity that the location of these mountains is not necessarily, because every time there is a big war, part of it will be razed to the ground. Quote. With your ability, infiltrating the Qingling Ninja village is not a problem at all. If you are inquiring about specific information, you who have divine power are undoubtedly the most suitable. Obito nodded, he knew that it was an illusion, but he was even more suspicious of Heiji. Was what Qingling told him true or false? Is all this really just a dream? Again, those are the real truth. That's the end of the thoughts. Obito spoke. According to what you said, Qingling Ninja village is heavily guarded. Even if you use divine power, there is a danger of being discovered, and you need a few white absolutes as a blinding method. No problem. Heiju agreed. It's just white, how much there is. As long as you kid does things well, everything is easy to say. Hearing this answer, Obito already had a little answer in his heart. Konoha. Today's small village is very calm, as if the sea before the storm raised a huge wave. Hokage office. Tsunade held the piglet with a sad face. Is there still no one in the dark that can lurk in? To be precise, no one came back. The person in charge of the dark department is still very young, and even if he wears a mask, he can see part of his form. There is no going back. This is true of any ninja village or force. Once you enter the Qingling Ninja village, don't think about coming back. If it weren't for the last night attack, with my Ai Luo's attack, it is estimated that no one would be able to determine whether he was alive or dead. The intelligence on the side of Cheyenne village said that the second son of Wind Shadow was alive, but the result later turned out to be that the father and son turned against each other. It was clearly a spell. It can be seen that the danger of infiltrating Qingling Ninja village is extremely high. At present, just sneaking into the Qingling Ninja village is defined as an S-class mission. It is impossible to sneak in, only to break in head-on and find out the internal structure and problems, which requires absolute strength and is doomed to 9 deaths. The head of the Dark Department said these words, which meant that more than 10 of his Dark Department elites had failed. never came back. Not only Konoha, but also many people in sand-hidden village have broken and sunk sand. After all, it was the fourth generation of Hokage who was captured along with his young son. Plans fail again and again. Sunahide village also had to push Chiyo's mother-in-law on the bright side. In this period of incompatibility, she temporarily acts as an agent when Shadow. The Zongnan exam is about to be examined. This time it will be me and Chiyo's mother-in-law to sit down, and the affairs of Qingling Ninja Village will be put aside first, and all defenses will be prepared. Tsunade ordered, and the head of the Dark Department could only nod in agreement. They are ineffective and feel very guilty in their hearts, especially the elites of the Dark Department who never return, always thinking about solutions. With the head of the Dark Department leaving, the white-haired man appeared in Hokage's office with his arms folded. You don't have to hide. Originally this position of the Hokage should be ceded by you, I just stayed for a while. Tsunade was blunt, even when she met Jiraiya. He also doesn't plan to return to Konoha village to be some fifth-generation Hokage. Jiraiya temporarily replaced Hokage for a year, as well as Old Love, before Tsunade was invited out of the mountain. Therefore, the real situation is that Senju Tsunade is not really the fifth-generation Hokage, but temporary, just like Chiyo's mother-in-law. Without Naruto's presence, Tsunade's state of mind didn't really unravel his heart. Tentative. It has been a tribute to her teachers, friends, and grandfather. And finally with Konoha, the place that hurts her heart. I'm just like you, I can't stay here forever. I still believe that I will find the child of prophecy. The words did not fall. He said again, Qingling Ninja Village, let me go. Tsunade looked up unexpectedly at Jiraiya's smile. So far, I don't know how to untie your heart, maybe that person is destined to appear, but it's a pity it's not me. Ji-Lai said and took the task scroll. If I come back alive. Quote. You'll definitely be able to come back. Tsunade interrupted him viciously. I hope. When the wind rises, the leaves follow. Hokage story, dragon return to the sea. Toad immortal, appear. Qingling Shinobi Village. Superior geographical location, surrounded by mountains on both sides and plains on both sides, green mountains and green waters, people and spirits. It has been half a month since the establishment of the Ninja Academy. Reputedly, the Naka Shinobi exam in Konoha village is over, uneventful, and there is a man named Nara Shikamaru who stands out. Now, the focus of the ninja world is here. I thought that there would be Konoha village, and the masters of Sand Hidden village would be killed. As a result, for more than half a month, no one made a move. Looks like they plan to consciously ignore Qingling Ninja Village and make everything go to plan. After all, a village that does not leave the house and is full of otaku will not hurt as long as it does not go out. As for the third-generation Hokage, the revenge of the fall of the fourth-generation Hokage, it purely depends on whether these two ninja villages can endure this breath. Scene. The entire ninja world is watching Konoha, Sunahide jokes. In the village. It's peaceful again. During this period of time, there was still no genius in the Ninja Academy who stood out and could be promoted from the elementary school to the elite department. On the contrary, there was a good news that spread throughout Qingling Ninja Village. The two vice presidents, Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha, broke through to the martial arts shinobu in unison. They are about to condense the chakra dantian. The news shocked Shinobi Village. Orochimaru, Rasha, Kakashi, and Ai Luo all rushed to the scene. And the villagers were still learning the basics, constantly refining their bodies, and applying ninjutsu and chakra in their lives. Therefore, he was also extremely curious about the realm above the 9 layers of chakras quenching body. Half a month also allowed the ninjas who were forced to stay in Qingling Ninja Village to more or less come into contact with chakra martial Dao. After tempering, they also had a breakthrough and felt the powerful advantages of this cultivation method. How strong will it be? For lifespan, how much metamorphosis the body? Quote. The big snake pill can't wait. He has also stepped into the 7th level of chakra-quenching body and has experienced 4 transformations. Having benefited a lot, he was more concerned about martial arts forbearance. If it works, does it mean a whole new system? Kakashi is incredible. He believes that he stayed in the village of Sealing Shinobu in order to protect Konoha. During this time, in order to probe the enemy, He also practiced the chakra martial Tao, successfully broke through to the third level, and found himself more and more chakra. This can't help but make him wonder, is chakra's amount just innate? Perhaps, we are about to witness history. Luo Xia is serious. He had heard Sasuke say that with cultivation, according to Qingling's description, it was possible to open attributes that he did not have at the advanced stage. For now, Naruto and Sasuke basically don't lack chakra with any common attributes. But the two of them are related to the nine tails, and it is very likely that the body mutated. Can others too? Luo stared at them with blazing eyes, as the cultivators here were second only to Naruto. He is still the ninth weight of chakra-quenching body, and his cultivation is unfathomable. After 5 metamorphosis, plus a week ago, Qingling transformed the chakra source for him, and he transformed himself again. Strength is no longer what it used to be. Different from the Naka Shinobi exam in Konoha Lamp Shinobi Village. If Qingling Ninja Village wants to be promoted, it needs 2 conditions. One is that the realm is sufficient, and the other is to obtain the recognition of the spirit shadow. Therefore, the whole village now theoretically does not even have a real patience. All apprentices feel it. Sasuke. Naruto was delighted. His chakra had undergone 9 layers of tempering and 5 transformations, and finally wanted to open up the chakra dantian in his body. Well, that's in the depths of chakra, a place in the body that has not yet been opened, as long as it is opened. Sasuke concentrated, and the chakra continued to gather, washing the place where the dantian was, and the chakra vortex in the dantian had begun to take shape. Gradually, the two began to expel impurities from their bodies, and the smell was unpleasant. With his brows locked, he kept condensing chakra, trying to break through the last hurdle. All efforts converge at this moment. The sound of the wind suddenly sounded in my ears. Swish. It turned out that chakra perfectly converged into a vortex in the body, opening up a real chakra dantian, so that you could save a large amount of chakra without the need for 8 doors of Dunja. Opening up the chakra dantian, will there be any signs? Orochimaru's eyes were full of greed, and he felt the rich breath of life on Naruto, Sasuke. His guess was correct. Once he broke through to the martial arts lower forbearance, all the hidden diseases in the body would be removed, and the lifespan would be greatly increased. The wind, it's the sound of the wind. Sasuke calmly expressed his feelings. Yes, it's the wind, it's my wind. Naruto grinned at Sasuke, who turned his head directly, not bothering to pay attention to him. Both of you. I love Luo and stop talking. Oh. Sasuke heard the meaning, rushed to the bank of the river, jumped directly into the river, and cleaned the impurities on his body. Shadow doppelganger art. Naruto directly asked a dozen doppelgangers to help him scrub the bath. What's going on with you guy? Don't pick up anything at all. It's so smelly, don't summon me in the future. The doppelgangers all cursed and complained. Seeing this scene, everyone who rushed to the scene only felt speechless. Only the big snake pill took notes in a serious book. He still had words in his mouth. Breaking through the martial arts under forbearance, you will open up the chakra dantian, you will hear the wind in your ears, and impurities will be discharged from your body, and you need to prepare bath water in advance. After remembering all this, he asked Sasuke, who had just landed and was wringing his clothes. So it's consistent with what Lingying said. Has the quality and quantity of chakra changed? Quote. Hearsay. Sasuke sensed his body carefully, and then only nodded. Children gathered around him, staring at him with adoring eyes. This made Sasuke, who was cold and indifferent on the surface, very panicked in his heart. Usually the children are close to Naruto, and the fool is more. Hey, Sasuke, have you noticed that after the breakthrough, we have all grown taller and our bodies seem to be stronger? Naruto hung his blouse over his shoulders and wrung it out, just like a twist. Sasuke looked back and saw that he had indeed grown a lot taller and muscular. The facial features are also a lot 3-dimensional. Is this also the benefit of a breakthrough? No wonder the children surrounded him. Did he have changed? Not far away. Iroh glanced at Naruto, and when he wanted to speak, he blushed a little unconsciously. I wish I had opened up the chakra dantian like Naruto earlier. The big snake pill waved his pen again. After cleaning, impurities are removed, and the first breakthrough will bring more obvious body transformation, delicate and fair skin, and a taller and stronger body, I don't know if there will be side effects on women. Kakashi on the side was speechless. However, I was also shocked by chakra wudao in my heart. He thought to himself, no wonder the nine tails are so strong, it turns out that he has cultivated this thing. When you return to Konoha village, be sure to bring chakra budo back with you. Swish. The leaves roll into wind and sand, like a small tornado rolling up the river. A small sculpture of nine tails rises slowly from the river. After floating in midair, chakra quickly covered it, bringing it to life. It seems that you have stepped into the second step of the chakra martial way. It also means that you have truly obtained the key to the door of eternal life. Qing Ling's eyes opened, making the big snake pill can't help but become frenzied. What a great power that is. Both eyes are peerless. First of all, I want to congratulate you two on finally becoming the first batch of shinobi in Qingling Ninja Village. Naruto, Sasuke, take the ninja protector. Everyone looked at Qingling's little paw. The pattern on the forehead is a simplified icon that resembles the nine tails, which is very cute. Wear the brace on your head. For the first time, Naruto and Sasuke gained a sense of belonging. Finally, became a martial arts shinobi. Qingling forbearance. Listening to the name, it seems to be a motley ninja village in the ninja world. But in the eyes of Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha, this is their real home. I must become a Qingling shinobi. Orochimaru swore and couldn't help but say it. Kakashi heard a black line on his face. Hello, you are also a famous 3 ninja, want to become a small ninja village's lower ninja. The children cheered. They also want to graduate from primary school in their lifetimes and become young spirits. Since you are the first 2 subordinates, you are qualified to make a request, as long as the master can do it, it will naturally be given. Qingling was very happy in his heart, and he couldn't wait for everyone to speed up their cultivation and consume chakra as fast as possible. Because chakra martial arts is to permanently consume chakra and temper the body, this means that martial arts ninjas will constantly consume chakra on the way to becoming stronger. Just now Naruto, when Sasuke broke through, because they themselves had a lot of chakra, plus the transformation of the chakra quenching ninefold. When opening up the chakra dantian, a large amount of chakra will be consumed quickly. If there are 10,000 or 100,000 breakthroughs at the same time, the number is unimaginable. Not to mention, the higher the realm, such consumption will multiply by geometric multiplication. Qingling is so happy, lying down and sleeping at home, you can die. Wow. He seemed to see the moment countless people ascended, and he didn't know how many times he would die in an instant. For a 9-tailed fox with narcolepsy and laziness to the extreme, this is simply the best way to cultivate. Requirements. Naruto thought for a moment and said, Sensei, I want Ichiraku ramen. There are many foods in the village, but we still need more food, such as Ichiraku ramen. When he heard Naruto's words, Luo Sha only felt that his eyes were dark. Qingling's strength is unimaginable, such an existence agrees to a request, but becomes a bowl of Ichiraku ramen. Stupid. Sasuke couldn't bear it anymore and punched him directly. Qingling teacher, I want to have the cultivation scroll of martial arts forbearance. Hear this sentence. Orochimaru and Kakashi's eyes were quietly changing. It turns out that the cultivation method of each realm is different. The previous chakra quenching body 9-fold already involved spiritual power and illusion, chakra combined with physical art, basic cultivation. It seems that it just needs to be extended. It seemed that they still underestimated this new type of cultivation. Each cultivation scroll that is obtained requires the completion of the previous task scroll, and someone breaks through the requirements of the previous cultivation scroll. The two of you only completed one of them, and after so long, the task was still not completed. Qingling smiled and said the words in his heart, which shocked everyone again. What task? The Nine Tails is already powerful enough to be able to use countless illusions, and it has eyes and pupils of that level, and chakra is almost infinite. With such a presence, is there anything else that needs to be done? Lingying, this task can be handed over to Zai Sha to complete. The big snake pill took the initiative to ask for help, since the effect of martial arts ninja has been so significant. Judging from the higher level cultivation scrolls, the improvement of martial path ninja will be even more terrifying. He was already moved, and he would never leave the village until he truly lived forever. You. An apprentice who is not even a ninja is not yet worthy. Qingling directly rejected the request of the Great Snake Pill. Turning to Sasuke, Naruto said. Go, when this task is completed, you must inform the world, all the ninja villages, all the daimyo and generals of the country, everyone must know the name of the spirit country. Qingling wants to create a kingdom. Hearing this, even the big snake pill gasped. He dares to create a ninja village, or enslave it from behind the scenes. But what does it mean if a kingdom is created? The recognition of the surrounding kingdoms, and the division of a part of the territory into their own territory, will lead to war. For the big snake pill who is immersed in scientific research and wants to obtain immortality, this is undoubtedly adding trouble. No matter how strong you are alone, you can't withstand the battle day and night. The ninja god Senjukuma will die soon after exhaustion after the battle with Uchiha Madara Endia. Ordinary people, and those samurai who only pour chakra into swords, armor, and bodies to improve their combat power. In front of these powerful ninjas, they seem to be vulnerable, but there are many of them. Raikage-sama, with all due respect, this will bring harassment to your martial arts ninja along the way, and will make the daimyos angry and start a war. Once again, Orochimaru made a clever proposal of his own. Then fight. What is terrible? A group of old immortals, the position of the daimyo, they can sit, others can't. The future does not belong to the daimyo, let alone the ninja, it should belong to everyone. Qingling's words made the big snake pill touch a nose again. He couldn't understand, how did this nine tails become so strange? Go, within a week, I hope you can complete the mission, at that time I will hand you the Martial Dao Shinobi Cultivation Scroll and the new mission scroll. Sasuke, say something else, it's not one of them. Seiki's attitude towards Naruto, Sasuke, and Orochimaru made Orochimaru even more frustrated. He seemed a little elusive about Qingling's true intentions. It can't be just bent on death, right? No one in the world should be so neurotic, right? He couldn't understand it. Before others didn't understand him, how could it be his turn to be curious about others in a blink of an eye? Aore-sensei, last time I was in the underground secret room. Sasuke glanced at Kakashi, then speechless, and did not say what happened that day. You want to meet someone. Sato knew that Sasuke was in the underground chamber that day and saw Sato and asked Kakashi to meet Obito. He also wanted to see Uchiha again in his heart and ask in person. No problem, the truth about that matter, more detailed information, I will also give it to you. A week later, while the mission was completed, the underground chamber could find me. The division is still a little sleepy, so rest first. Little Ninetail yawned, looking particularly cute, only to see that the river spread and drowned him after all. The water was calm as if nothing had happened. Kakashi, Raisha was still in shock. Qingling Ninja Village is not enough, there is about to be a kingdom rising up, which means an endless war. Unless the Qingling Ninja Village can defeat other countries and truly gain a place. At that time, it will also be truly recognized as the Spirit Country and Green Spirit Ninja Village that resounded in the ninja world. Is it really possible? There are more than 200 ninjas from Konoha and Sand hidden in the village, and more than 30 villagers. Can such a small country and ninja village support a piece of the sky? Swish. Kakashi heard the sound of the wind moving. He thought that before that day came, he should be in ruins again. On the ground, one figure after another ran quickly. They were all shadow doppelgangers of Naruto and Sasuke, running towards the major forces around the world, leaving letters on the tables of those strong. 3 days later, Spirit Country, announced. Between the land of fire, the land of wind, and the land of earth. The borderless area like Yuyin Village, a rare place with beautiful mountains and waters. This small Qingling ninja village shocked the world. A calm morning. Yuyin Village. It is more than 300 kilometers away from Qingling Ninja Village. There are no green mountains and green water, birds singing and flowers. Only dark clouds and heavy rain poured. Here, it's either a light rain or a torrential rain, and there's not a day that isn't in the worst of the environment. However, but there are quite a few big people here. At one time, Hanzo, known as a demigod, was born here and was a famous village chief. However, he was very unliked. Since Pain occupied the village of Yuyin, the wind has been more tuned and the rain has been smoother. People respectfully believe that he is the best village chief. Because of Xiao. The main business here is to take on various assassination missions. Today, the business is exceptionally good, and it seems that the ancestor blessed. At once, he received a joint mission from the daimyo of the three kingdoms. The land of fire, the land of the wind, the land of earth. The daimyo of the three kingdoms, jointly named, spent a lot of money, to ask Xiao of Yuyan village to take action and erase Qingling ninja village. It is not necessary to face such a tricky role. The daimyos also did not want their samurai and shinobi subordinates to die. You know, that is the power they carefully cultivated, and it is the guarantee for them to stand on the Hokage world, become a hegemon, and maintain their daimyo status. Yuyan village is different, they have been relying on this industry since the Hanzo period. In addition, the geographical location of this piece is relatively special. It can be said that it is the junction of the land of fire, the land of wind, and the land of earth is also the main battlefield and buffer zone in the event of war. This makes Yuyan village able to gain a long-term foothold. However, since the birth of the Qingling ninja village, the daimyo has not been the same, only the country of wind, the country of fire, feels angry, and can't wait to uproot it. Until the doppelganger of Naruto and Sasuke spread the news of the creation of the kingdom of spirit around the world. The five kingdoms and the small kingdoms can't wait to crush it. However, when he learned that there was only one Qingling ninja village in the land of spirits, and that the location was not bordered by them at the junction of wind, fire, and earth, he was more joyful. So far, the country of earth, which was originally out of the matter, because the Qingling shinobi village was also close, so in anger, he had to take action in order to maintain face. Only then did the daimyo of the first three kingdoms join forces, and at the same time decided to erase the spirit country and destroy the Qingling ninja village. Inside the tower, Nagato and Konan Maki face each other. In general, towers are used for drainage and detoxification. The dark passages and underground in the lower part are where the people of Yuyan village live. Only the two of them like to be in the tower. Nagato, who received this letter, was also speechless. They had planned to stop the assassination mission, even if this mission was given 20 million taels, they didn't want to take it. Over the years, it is basically enough to continue to take on tasks, all they have to do is gather 9-tailed beasts and open the 10 tails. It's time for final preparations. It was because of the birth of Qingling ninja village that the daimyos were angry, and they also received a big order. The amount of this task is 20 million taels. Xiaonan said that she also thought the task was too much of a hindrance. The most important thing now is to integrate the collected intelligence of the tailed beast and confirm the specific actions of everyone Zuli 100%. In this way, assassination and hunting were carried out. It's not a question of how many tails, even if it's 200 million tails, it will hinder us. If the so-called assassination this time disturbed the 9-tailed and 1-tailed human pillar forces inside, it would undoubtedly increase the difficulty of the next hunt. Quote. That's what Nagato really cares about. It's really not possible, I can only let pain go, instead of letting Aikyo and 9-tails fight the grass snake, we refuse the mission, but it will make the high-level people of the ninja world suspicious. He is also in a dilemma. At this moment, Nagato suddenly frowned. Here they are. Hearing Nagato's words, Xiaonan immediately understood the meaning and rushed to it. Not often. Inside a tall tower. 6 pain each stood at one end of the high place. Ah Fei, absolutely standing here. Apparently a long wait. Leave the exploration task to us this time. Be the first to speak. Maybe you can catch 1 tail and 9 tails in advance, as long as you follow the order, and finally put the chakra of the 9 tails. Obito said in his so-called Ah Fei tone. Heavenly Dao Pain hadn't spoken yet. A Dao Xiao organization squad has appeared here. Itachi Senpai. Obito greeted warmly, this is his usual personality. Uchiha Itachi hasn't spoken yet. His partner, the ghost mackerel, has already put the mackerel on the horizontal plane. Usually, he would never untie a bandage, and doing so would mean. They are also here to take on this task. Aikyo Shozuru, leave it to me. Scorpion said coldly. I don't really like anything about the land of earth, but we took this task. Deidara hugged his arms, his eyes seemed to say, what a tale, all 9 tails are blown up. Let art rise a mushroom cloud above Qingling ninja village. Swish. If you have enough money, I'll come. Kakuto's calmness is the opposite of that of his partner. Lord Evil God needs to sacrifice, human pillar power is the best sacrifice. Fei Duan's eyes were equally hot. A task. The daimyo of the three kingdoms joined forces and issued a reward of 20 million taels. S-level tasks are more than 1 million taels. All members of the Xiao organization want to take action personally. Xiao Nan came to everyone and threw out 3 new bounty missions that she learned on the way. The daimyos of the three kingdoms of wind, fire, and earth each added a reward of 20 million taels. For the 9 taels, Pain has to take action personally, but it is easy to startle the snake by doing so. Before the official action, let Ah Fei and Zhu go to Qingling Ninja Village to inquire about the information, which will be in return for us to collect a deposit of 10 million taels. Xiao Nan's words did not attract any rebuttal. Ah Fei's ability to probe intelligence is simply invincible. Moreover, it is not a formal action. They also chose default. If it is not necessary, the operation must be fully prepared before starting. After Xiao Nan finished speaking, everyone in the Xiao organization did not stop and all left. Fei and Zhu turned around and rushed towards the direction of Qingling Ninja Village. Konoha Village. Izumo and Tetsu are dutifully guarding as a gatekeeper duo. Today Ziti still has a task, but because it is not a task for 2 people to dispatch at the same time. He was very uncomfortable, let him go to complete the task alone, it was better to die. Jiraiya-sama, where are you going? The breeze was blowing, and they didn't expect that Jirai, who had always enjoyed life, would choose to leave Konoha early in the morning. Shish. Jiraiya gestured at them to silence them. The 2 chose to shut up in amusement. The toad immortal seemed to walk indifferently into the distance, pursuing the prophecy of the Son of the World, impartially. Qingling Shinobi Village. This peaceful and peaceful ninja world is a happy place. Unaware that danger is slowly approaching. 3 days ago, the news of the creation of the Spirit Kingdom resounded throughout the world. Qingling Ninja Village, which has only 1 village in the territory, is determined to expand the living area of the villagers and live happier lives. So a large mountain nearby was occupied and changed to a fruit forest. Another plain was chosen for farming and grazing. Grains, vegetables, fruits, livestock, cotton all started their own planning. A large number of shadow doppelgangers continued to work overtime, and today they finally completed the task. During this period, the number of villagers has increased to more than 50. What is even more exciting is that there are some people who live in the country of wind, the country of earth is about to be uncovered, and they are constantly oppressed by the daimyos. He has long dragged his family with him and rushed here overnight. They fled here before the Spirit Kingdom was founded. Some have been on their way for a week. There were also some traders among the villagers, who passed on intelligence, which brought opportunities for 2-night raids. However, Qingling didn't bother at all and omitted it. The villagers felt guilty in their hearts, thinking that Lord Lingying had an open heart, forgave them, and became more and more grateful, thinking that they were the first people in the spirit country. They finished their work early and waited under the sun for their relatives to escape. According to the agreed time, a large number of people who received their letters would probably have fled here today. For this reason, everyone who knows everyone comes to the entrance of the village in advance to meet them. When bored, they talked about their recent lives. Under the tree, you have been in good spirits recently, have you made a breakthrough? It's not a secret, I begged my son to teach me cultivation every day, and the day before yesterday I successfully broke through to the chakra-quenching body. It's amazing, we ordinary people, we can go from martial arts ninja apprentices to lower ninja in a lifetime, and it is impossible to ask for it. Fortunately, our children have the opportunity. Yes, I am happy to think that if he can graduate from the elementary school, he can become a shinobi. Of course, where did you know before, it is so difficult to become a ninja. Speaking of my son's talent, Kakashi-sensei said that he may be able to enter the elite division in the future. Pull down, Izumi, just your son. The whole half-day turned out to be for this foreshadowing, not for me to say, his runny nose, it is impossible to enter the elite department in his whole life. Under the tree, you fart. People's discussions, lifting each other, quickly turned into noisy, and almost fights. Seeing this scene, Luo Sha smiled helplessly. 5 days ago, he and Kakashi became the vice president of the elite department of the Ninja Academy. Luo was promoted to head of the defense department. People's lives are their own responsibility, and there are special people for various jobs. More than 200 ninjas were also registered as apprentices. Although they are reluctant to enter the Ninja Academy with the children because of their faces, they must always practice and keep up with the progress. Otherwise, you will not be qualified to be called Qingling Sha Ninja for the rest of your life. Naruto, Sasuke, I Love Raw, are hiding everywhere. The ninjas in charge of patrolling and guarding the village are small compared to them. Now, with the beckoning of a villager, the small carts slowly increased on the stone road in the distance. There were more and more people, hundreds of them, all of them were in rags, and it seemed that life was really not satisfactory. The children have thin yellow muscles, and compared with these lively and flexible children in Qingling Ninja Village, whose faces are full of collagen, it is simply distressing. The so-called labor of the kingdoms was ultimately for the luxurious life of the daimyos. People gave most of the fruits of their labor to daimyos and samurai. In exchange for a little warmth that you can't die of hunger. So, as soon as they got the news that there were fields in the village that could be cultivated for free, and there was protection from powerful ninjas and spirit shadows, they set out with their families late at night. The rush of the dust servants did not reduce their enthusiasm. When I see my friends and relatives wearing not expensive, but clean and tidy clothes, and their faces are full of energy, they still couldn't hold back their tears. Great, the scenery here is also good. I think every morning when I go to work, I can also have a good mood. Mother. Jiro. They hugged together, as if a good life had been embraced, and they were reluctant to let go. Inoue, under the tree, why are you all wearing such beautiful clothes, and they feel better than mine? The little girl pulled her patched clothes. She looked cute, but the dust on her face seemed to tell the hardship of her face. It's Ninja Academy, there will be good breakfast and lunch there. We will go to learn ninjutsu when we wake up in the morning, and when the afternoon is coolest, Mom will make dinner and wait for us to go back. The boy had a runny nose and was apparently the son known as Inoue. What is Ninja Academy? The girl's eyes widened and she was exceptionally good looking. Fireside Exiame, you'll know when you come. The hair under the tree is slightly upturned, and he is very confident in his arms with his hands. Apparently adapted to life in the village. On this day, a total of more than 130 people came to the village, and the originally sparsely populated village suddenly increased to more than 180 villagers and more than 200 ninjas. As life settles down, people are looking forward to tomorrow's life. They hurriedly went to the fields and received their own rice seeds, wheat seeds, fruit trees, and livestock. Wearing the latest clothes in the workshop, he asked how many taels he needed. When told that it was possible to repay it after the harvest, and that the price was only handmade and raw materials, without any premium, he was overjoyed and fumbled for new clothes. In a small courtyard, Kakashi and Rosa sat together, and the two vice deans of the elite department without students were chatting calmly, as if they were two old men. It's obviously the most ordinary clothes, but they're dancing happily. Ordinary. You Konoha are doing well. If it were our sand-hidden village, not to mention that only a few people could wear better clothes, even if they wanted to wear something good, they would have to be stained with sand. Luo Sha said with a smile and looked into the distance. In the center of the village, Sasuke walked towards the underground chamber at the same time. I Love Luo on full alert. Meanwhile, one of the doppelgangers of the Green Spirit wore a green robe and also led Naruto in the direction of Konoha village. Task accomplished. It was time for him to fulfill the wishes of his two disciples. The truth about the Uchiha Weasel slaughtering the Uchiha clan. And, Ichiraku Ramen, Naruto Uzumaki's heart. Underground chamber. Sasuke, as usual, came here. A new sculpture has already appeared here. But this time, chakra was not attached to it. It was a green spirit shadow doppelganger wearing a green robe. Uncovering the robe, he had the face of a nine-tailed fox, and the nine-tailed tails under the robe were constantly shaking. But he's really standing here. This scene is very strange, a fox, like the legendary fox fairy standing. Teacher Qingling. Sasuke only glanced at it and stopped looking, he thought it was disrespectful to the green spirit. Silly child, don't be restrained. You, as one of the only two martial arts subordinates in Qingling, are already the most powerful person in the entire village. If you want to know, I will definitely tell you. Teacher, I want to know the truth. But it's hard for you to make a video call, and he's unpredictable. If it's my side of the story, will you believe it? Qingling said, still not used to standing, directly wearing a green robe lying on the ground, his paws scratching his little face. I trust the teacher. Sasuke's gaze was resolute, he had never trusted a person so unconditionally. Naruto can only count half. As for Qingling, he is not human. The green robe Nine Tails casually threw out a letter, and chakra wrapped it and slowly suspended it in midair. Sasuke touched this warm chakra, and a figure couldn't help but appear in his eyes. The letter had not yet been opened, but he had become a different person. Magic. Just born. Is it mom and dad in front of you? Sasuke knew that this should be the strongest illusion technique of the Blue Spirit Sensei, the spirit world. He was here, and he was actually simulating an environment. Odd. Sasuke wondered when exactly he had fallen for the illusion. When the envelope appeared, or when teacher Qingling was wearing a green robe. But there is absolutely no malice in this, otherwise he would not have known that he had fallen for illusion. Sure enough. He learns his name, Uchiha Itachi. He is a genius, but this body has its own judgment, disobedience, only does its own thing, speaks its own words. Sasuke just experienced everything from a first-person perspective. Genius keeps getting stronger, graduating, becoming a ninja, and joining the Dark Division. Along the wind, he is still a double-sided undercover agent. When he was very young, he liked a girl named Izumi Uchiha. Sasuke saw that when he was born, the sister wanted to hug him, but he kept crying. Again and again efforts have been in vain. Finally, the Uchiha family reached a critical moment, and in order to save their family status, they were determined to fight to the death. Itachi learns that the plan to stop the water has failed. He also received the task. This night, the boy returned to the family gathering place and slaughtered everything alone. He is saddled with the so-called fate, or responsibility. Konoha's will did not burn like a flame this time. Rivers of blood converged into tragedy, soaking the night of Konoha. Through the perspective of Uchiha Itachi, Sasuke saw Uchiha Izumi, a girl who spent the rest of her life with Uchiha Itachi and the moon reading. He also saw himself and returned home in shock. All his relatives were gone, only this murderous maniac-like brother. This moment, Sasuke knows the reason for the slaughter of the family, and also knows the true identity and responsibility of Uchiha Itachi. I know more about Tuanzo. It turned out that from the beginning, his true enemy died in the hands of Qingling. The dream woke up. The young man's eyes were full of tears, and before he knew it, his 3-hook jade chakra eye was also promoted to a kaleidoscope chakra eye because of grief. Teacher. The letter was still in his hand, and the chakra of the 9 tails was still warm, but I don't know when the letter opened. The so-called intelligence and truth is to let me personally experience the life of Uchiha Itachi. Sasuke, do you feel the pain of this world? Qingling raised his head and looked at this disciple. It hurts. Where does it hurt? Sasuke thumped his chest. But why, when your heart hurts, but your eyes are open? Qingling stretched out like a cat and walked in circles in the underground secret room. Because sorrow and hatred will open the power of the blood, how great it is, if it exists, it means that the world still suffers. When it disappears, it means the beauty of the world. Tuanzo believes that your blood, your eyes, should be physically erased. A leaf blindfold. Stupid to the extreme. In fact, as long as that beautiful world without pain comes, whether it is the Sharingan, or the Uchiha family, won't this power naturally fall silent until it disappears? He looked at Sasuke, who was confused, and asked again. Sasuke Uchiha, she once asked you, do you want to create a world where everyone is a ninja, or a world without ninjas? Now, the teacher asks you again. Sasuke stood in place, and for the first time he said that he wanted everyone to be a ninja in the future, so that everyone would be strong, and naturally there would be no tragedy. But when he heard Qingling say, as long as the future is good enough, that would naturally end everything, he thought, maybe the future should be without ninjas. For a while, he hesitated and could not answer. Why don't you stand up for your answer? You are still young man, you should be spirited, and the teacher is the same as you when he is young, there is nothing wrong with it. If everyone has a naked heart, Then why distinguish any ninja and ninja? Sasuke Uchiha, sober up and say the answer in your heart. Quote. The answer in your heart. Sasuke hesitated again. If he hadn't met the green spirit, he would have been blinded by hatred, and perhaps there would be a firm answer. But now I have seen the new life of my love Luo, the joy of Luo Sha. Kakashi's tears that day, Sasuke's heart changed a little. Sasuke, I'm asking you, if it's you. Will he choose to slaughter the Uchiha family and become undercover like Uchiha Itachi? Solve the problem this way. This time, Qingling gave a multiple-choice question. Sasuke cut to the chase, and the two kaleidoscopic chakra eyes opened at the same time, shouting, no way. Then she asked you again, if you let you stop the water like Uchiha and let the whole clan live in illusion, just like Uchiha Itachi treats Uchiha Izumi, would you be willing? Unwilling. Sasuke's heart became clearer. He knew, he had the answer in his heart, but he didn't dare to say it. Qingling is guiding him step by step, saying his heart's choice. So what are you going to do, Sasuke? The young man's eyes are like torches, looking back on the life of the weasel, as well as the tragedy of stopping the water, and the ears and eyes in Qingling Ninja Village during this time. He voiced his choice. I want the Uchiha family to live in the sun with dignity. We didn't deprive anyone of air and water, they don't want to do this. I want to break all restrictions and let the Uchiha clan also have Hokage, and I want to change, not accommodate. Who stands in my way? This one makes the Uchiha clan, let all the people in the ninja world, lead to a beautiful road. I won't hesitate to strike. Overcome the difficulties. At all costs. In the end, the young man almost said every word, and after saying what he had in his heart, he felt a lot more relaxed. Tears welled up in his eyes, and he hugged the nine-tailed fox's arms. Teacher Qingling, you knew from the beginning that Tuan Zhang was the culprit, right? Teacher Qingling, you are taking revenge for us, right? No, I'm just for myself. This moment. True selfishness and selflessness appear so clear and dazzling. Uchiha Sasuke no longer had the slightest hint of wariness. Choked up with tears. Silly child, don't worry, you are strong enough, and you will become stronger. One day, you will change the world. And another fool one. You two are just mindless and unhappy. Sato patted Sasuke on the back, and when he heard Naruto being scolded for being mindless, he broke into laughter. Think about it. That fool should have returned to Konoha village at this moment. Let's go eat that bowl of Ichiraku ramen that he has in mind. How silly. Who would be stupid enough to risk their life to eat a bowl of noodles? Mindless, of course. At night. Mindless is running with ninjas. Qingling is also a ninja running, he has been a fox for too long, and it is not easy to learn to walk at the moment. After all, there are still 9 tails to learn to use to maintain balance. Swish. 2 figures sneak into Konoha village. Naruto Uzumaki changed his clothes, and the mask covered the upper half of his face. Sit with Saijin in a green robe at a Ichiraku ramen restaurant. It's a ramen restaurant, but it's actually small, just with a table and a row of seats. The teenager, as usual, sat in the middle. Thinking of his previous instructions, he pinched his throat and disguised the voice of another person. Uncle, come 2 bowls of Ichiraku ramen. Okay. Uncle Ichiraku cooked with a smile and quickly served 2 bowls of hot Ichiraku ramen. The noodle soup is more fragrant. Naruto suppressed his emotions and picked up his chopsticks to pray silently. Then we started feasting. Qingling ate the noodles slowly, obviously not in a hurry at all. Sure enough, as soon as he finished 3 bites leisurely, Naruto asked for the second bowl. By the time he was halfway through eating, Naruto had emptied 5 bowls. When all are eaten, the boy had already eaten the bowl and patted his stomach with satisfaction. Qingling took the bowl and drank the soup. For Naruto when he was a child, it was common to get as much food as he could, catch his own fish, and pick fruit. Instant noodles are delicious and are meant to be celebrated. If there's one thing his spiritual pillar, it's Ichiraku ramen. In fact, in Konoha village, it is more expensive than instant noodles, but it is cheaper than other foods and is Ichiraku ramen. The hot soup and noodles will always boil the stomach of the teenager. Would you like more Naruto rolls? Thank you uncle. Naruto ate happily. The Naruto roll was as cute as his Uzumaki crest. Today, the family emblem is hidden under this green robe that is similar to Qingling's clothes. As he ate, the heat of the noodle soup covered his eyes. Tears fell into the noodle soup. After a pause, he ate again. Soon, after eating the 8th bowl, Naruto got up satisfied. He had never been so rich in his life. He wiped away his tears and turned and walked into the streets of Konoha in the middle of the night. Wait until Sato and Naruto leave. Uncle Ichiraku looked down the street. His deep gaze seemed to see through everything, and finally, a smile appeared on his gentle face that had been missing for a long time. Father, you haven't laughed for a long time, how is today? The daughter didn't know what happened. Could it be that the guest just now was very good at eating, too? After all, the father was happy to add a lot of Naruto rolls. Long time no see, the teenager is still the same. Oh. The girl didn't understand what her father meant, only that her father, who hadn't smiled for months, finally showed a smile. Naruto walked side by side with the blue spirit to the vicinity of Sakura's house, and left in a hurry with only one glance. He seemed to have finally understood and let go of something. Breaking into his own home, the treasured instant noodles in that cabinet are still there. He carefully picked it up and held it in his arms. On the cot, he was no longer seen tossing and turning when he couldn't sleep late at night. The world is a little cruel, but it is not extremely cruel. He touched the futon and pillow, as well as the pajamas, which were now much smaller. Looking at every corner of the room, it is like seeing your lonely figure in the past. Naruto finally stood in front of the wardrobe, looking at the pile of identical clothes, and couldn't help but laugh. Although many people do not like him, Sakura also thinks he's not handsome and always makes stupid mistakes. But after school, he always had to get food first, and when he got home, he did laundry, and did housework. This small room is all he has, not gorgeous enough, but always neat. He touched the small swirl on his clothes. It's like touching your past self. Teacher, did you say I was particularly stupid before? You're just as stupid now. Qingling complained mercilessly. This sentence made Naruto's face smile even more. In fact, he has always been very delicate. Walking through the families, he found a few people he knew, put some things on hold, and then disappeared. The Hyuga family. It was Naruto's last big family mansion door. He didn't expect that this girl would go to see him like Shikamaru and them on that rainy night. Looking back on childhood, he does seem to have more dealings with this eldest lady of the Hyuga clan than Sakura. This girl is always very restrained, blushing at every turn, but she is also very cute. He smiled and walked to the corner where no one usually came late at night. Konoha's cemetery. Come here. Naruto placed a bouquet of flowers in front of a tombstone, along with some offerings he had brought. Grandpa Naruto, goodbye. The boy stroked the tombstone, as if returning to his childhood, and was tricked by the old man on the bank of the river to eat half of his grilled fish. Stroke his head as he says goodbye. He smiled and said, in fact, it is difficult for fish to fill the stomach, but if someone accompanies them, they are not hungry. Thank you, Grandpa Naruto. Quote. This title, I haven't seen it for a long time. Last time, it was 2 years ago. He turned and dashed away from Konoha, leaving here as if he had left all the years that had passed. Go forward, into the future. Squeak. The door opened, and Ding Si's mother shouted into the house suspiciously, Ding Si, haven't you had dinner? Why do you still buy instant noodles? Ah, Mom, why did you wrong me? Akamichi Dingji squinted and walked out of the room, but saw an ordinary instant noodles. Strangely, he froze in place. Konoha's military division. Nara Shikahisa returned home and picked up a box of instant noodles in front of his house. Stinky boy, there seems to be something hidden here, but it's best not to be seen by your mother, you will be scolded. Oh. Shikamaru took the instant noodles, and the sleepiness on his sleepy face instantly swept away. His mother's voice was also heard in the room. You're secretly saying bad things about me, Nara Shikahisa. Akamaru jumped from Inuzuka's head. It seems to smell a familiar breath and constantly pats on the door. What's wrong, Akamaru? It's so late, we can't go out and play. Inuzuka opened the door under the shouts of his friends, but what came into his eyes was an ordinary instant noodles. When he saw this thing, he immediately smiled. Unremarkable Naka Shinobi. Uruka, today I went out to complete a task, and tomorrow morning I have to go to prepare lessons for the children. As soon as I got home, I saw instant noodles in front of my house. Strange, did someone make a mistake? There were a lot of them here, and he picked them up, but he saw a scroll hidden inside. He opened it slowly, and only a line of small print was written on it. Chakra Martial Arts, Quenching Body Chapter, Instant Noodles, Strange Scrolls. Uruka's face was puzzled at first, and then a long-lost smile appeared. The Hyuga family. The eldest lady, Hinata, just learned that a strange person had sent her a box of instant noodles. When I opened it, I found that it seemed to be a love letter. The girl carefully opened it after discovering that it was Naruto's handwriting, but unexpectedly opened the door to a new world. The moonlight is as clear as a bend of water. Dumped in the late-night Konoha cemetery. Sanshinobi also came here and picked up the instant noodles on the ground. He shook suspiciously. There was no face inside, only a small scroll full of contents. Chakra Takedo. Martial Ninja. Quote. I was also deeply puzzled. He originally ran all the way towards Qingling Ninja Village. As a result, halfway through, he suddenly sensed a deliberately emitted nine-tailed chakra, and when he noticed it and went to track it, the other party deliberately hid it again. It seems that he was deliberately tricked back. Well, rightfully, this scroll was also reserved for him. Because the dead ape flew to the sun, it was impossible to climb out and cultivate any chakra martial arts. Nine Tails, Qingling, who are you? Jiraiya read the contents of the scroll and quickly came to his conclusion. Spiritual power is yin attribute chakra, and life force comes from yang attribute chakra. This chakra martial arts is ultimately not for the legendary power of yin and yang. It's not for yin and yang. It is constantly using the essential yin and yang attribute chakra to strengthen itself until it is constantly superimposed and metamorphosed. According to his idea, there should be a follow-up cultivation path. Jiraiya, who had planned to continue the pursuit, decided to return to Miaomu Mountain first. Discuss the feasibility and weirdness of this chakra martial arts. After his night against Naruto, Qingling's careful tracking also found that these two were not the ones who killed. No. To be precise, it should have been deliberately guided back to Konoha village by Qingling. But the other party left this scroll, presumably in order to deliberately spread the chakra martial Dao. Really? Ji Lai also thought of a possibility. Could it be that Qingling wanted to emulate the six Dao immortals and open up another ninja sect? What should this be called? Wuzong. The more he looked at it, the more he felt that he was more worried about the feasibility, and directly cast the anti-summoning technique and returned to Miaomu Mountain. In the mountain forest, Naruto, who had just eaten dinner and taken a walk, began to move quickly. Obviously, he was extremely prone to stomach drooping, and if he hadn't cultivated the chakra martial Dao, he would have achieved a small result. I am afraid that sooner or later the root of the disease will fall. Teacher, why did you leave the cultivation method of chakra martial Dao at Grandpa Hokage? Of course, it is a gift of chance to those who are destined. Someone destined for it. Naruto also didn't understand what a destiny was, but instinctively believed in the green spirit without doubt. Suddenly, the two crossed mountain streams, crossed large rivers, and hurried into the distance. The wind blows down your cheeks. Naruto only felt that he had a deeper understanding of chakra's cultivation. Teacher, after returning to the village, can I cultivate a deeper level of chakra martial Dao? He was full of joy. This time he must be the first to be promoted to a martial arts shinobi and surpass Sasuke. Of course, but there's something else tonight. As soon as Qingling said this, Naruto felt the figures around him moving closely after him. They are from Iwayne village. It's just a test. After all, Konoha, Sand Hidden have all made a move, but the intelligence obviously didn't give them much. This time I also found an opportunity, and I finally found a little possibility while you went out of the village. Before Qingling's words fell, a shuriken flew over. He did not hide, allowing it to attack on his body, and as a result, he could not even pierce his skin. Teacher, I'm going to strike. Go ahead. Naruto turned around suddenly, threw out a shuriken in one hand, and smoothly used the Shadow Doppelganger technique. Shadow Doppelganger Shuriken. It's raining in the dark. It is also mixed with a lot of real shurikens, in order to add the Flying Thunder God spell seal. Just as a flying kick landed on the door, he disappeared directly and hid in the woods. Spiral Thousand Bird Rain. Successful cultivation for some time. According to Qingling's ninjutsu, it must be eclectic. Condense the thunder attribute chakra in the palm, and the wind attribute chakra is turned into a gossamer in a ratio of 1:1, and no one can touch anyone. The two chakras seem to spin rapidly and condense into a spiral pill, but they were actually condensed separately. At the core of this wind thunder spiral pill, there is also a wind blade and a thunder blade condensed, and the two are like two poles, forming a powerful repulsion that balances each other. The difficulty of the wind and thunder spiral is extremely high. It means that once the two forces touch everything, it will explode directly in the palm. And the spiral thousand bird rain means that hundreds of wind thunder spiral pills will be condensed in a short period of time. It can be thrown like rain, destroying and decaying. It's ridiculous. This kind of chakra condensed attack is not worth mentioning at all. The ninjas of Iwahide village have long had no idea how many worlds they had seen. They knew about the defeat of Konoha and Suna, and naturally sent the elite of the elite. Tudun Tuliu Wall. Some people still chose caution after dodging and opened the soil flow wall. However, this seems like an insignificant chakra condensate. The moment it slammed on the tall earthen wall. First, the surface exploded, and the wind and thunder attribute chakra, which was originally mutually repellent, collided together at this moment, and the power that would have erupted was further enhanced. Reached the power of 1 + 1 is greater than 2. In an instant, the thousand birds and wind blades inside the spiral pill erupted with it, and the repulsion caused it to erupt between the whiskers, destroying the decay. Thereupon, the earth flow wall was directly blasted into ashes at the same time. The power of wind and thunder condensed and raged, destroying all the trees within more than 30 meters of the surrounding area, and the earth was blasted out of a big pit. There was also a loud rumbling thunder, which deafened. The perfect masterpiece of wind and thunder. The more repulsive, the more it means that at the moment of the outbreak, the more powerful it is. Nani. What is this thing? One is enough to kill half of us. Stay away. When the ninja of Yenian village was screaming, hundreds of wind and thunder spiral pills were intertwined into a spiral thousand bird rain. It's finally an outbreak. Each one will destroy everything within a radius of 30 meters. Hundreds of piled together, that's the apocalyptic scene. Just a few seconds. This forest is full of big holes. There is no place to hide and stand. Those who luckily dodged the attack had a sense of rejoicing for the rest of their lives. Don't be afraid, that move just now will definitely consume a lot of his chakra. As long as we join forces to attack and defend this time, this kid will definitely die. Yukimi shouted, trying to get everyone to rush up and fight again. But a big hand pressed his shoulder and signaled him to shut up. This person is also the upper shinobi of Iwahide village. It's just that he also has a special identity, the five-tailed human pillar force. Countless feats have been established for Yenian village. Known for his physical skills and strange power, he is known as the Steam Ninja. Five Tails Mu King's human pillar power. Chinese. At this moment, a Mu King's tail appeared behind him. It also turned on the vapor armor. In the face of the nine-tailed pillar force, how to take it lightly. The only tree in the forest that was not destroyed. Qingling's toes lightly stood here. The robe covered his whole body and also blocked his fox face. From time to time, the nine-tails came out of their robe and shook it. Even so, the orange nine-tailed chakra still glows its face, hands, and foothold with a gentle glow. It seems, not so much a standing fox demon. Rather, he is a radiant elf. King Mu of the Five Tails felt the breath of the green spirit and couldn't help but turn his head. Han, be careful, this kid is very weird, and there are two nine tails at the same time. Two nine tails. Han didn't understand this sentence. How could there be two of the nine tails? Why didn't Konoha and Sunahide mention this in their intelligence? King Mu, are you sure it's not the nine-tailed chakra split in two? Han wears red armor, a cloak on his head, and a face mask. The tail behind him is the same as King Emu's, which will further increase his strength and speed after he turns on the vapor state. It is worth mentioning. Han's physical skills are based on speed and strength. The strange power makes it difficult for him to meet opponents. The human pillars of the nine-tailed beasts all have their own characteristics, and the main appearances and shapes are only Naruto, Kurabi, and Luo. In fact, boiling is quite tough. Nope. King Mu said to Han. This Konoha rebel named Naruto has a powerful and complete nine-tailed in his body, and the one who stands watching from a distance is even more hidden. Let's be careful. Hearing King Emu's analysis, Han's footsteps did not stop for the slightest. He was not obstinate, but recognized King Emu's words and wanted to test Naruto's combat power at the first time. To deal with a strong physical skill, it is natural to use physical skills. No, it should be the martial arts taught by the teacher. The chakra on Naruto suddenly erupted, and during this time, he had already truly completed the cultivation of the 8 gates Dunja. The corresponding physical skills are also learned almost the same. Coupled with the cultivation of chakra martial arts, the fusion of physical arts and ninjutsu, this is what Qingling said about martial arts. Martial arts. At least promoted to martial arts shinobi to use it, you need to be strong enough. The physique is strong enough, the chakra is enough. The fusion of physical and ninjutsu can only reach the level of martial arts. 8 gates Dunja, Flying Thunder God Art Fusion. Martial arts, Flying Light and Shadow Flashing. While withstanding the 8 doors of Dunjia with chakra, the corresponding individual technique and combat skills are integrated into the first 8 forms of Flying Light Flow Shadow Flash. Every move needs to work perfectly with the Flying Thunder God technique. Performing this martial art with all your might means the perfect fusion of the 8 doors of Dunja, the Flying Thunder God technique, and the combat technique. In a split second, use 8 moves. Turn into a flying shadow. Steam in. Han went one step further, and with steam all over his body, he further increased with the tail of King Mu. He was extremely fast, and the vapor made a sound like the roar of a train. Boom, tremble. The vapor and snow-white tail turned into a long line of white gas and flashed from the sky. Crashed directly into Naruto. Boiling power. While accelerating with all his strength, Han raised his chakra to the boiling point, causing his strength to reach an unprecedented increase and directly entering a higher level. Strength and speed, multi-state increase. Han believes that not many people can hold up to this trick in the ninja interface. The strength is stronger than him, the speed is not as good as him. Those who are faster than him are not as powerful as him. Just test my martial arts. Flying light streaming. Suddenly, Naruto's figure flickered in place, swaying like a ball of light. Until Han entered him, he suddenly disappeared. It's not good, Han, this guy has long disappeared, all we see is the afterimage left by his excessive speed. King Mu understood the cause and effect at the moment of the move. How is it possible? I seem to see 8 of him. Han was even more taken aback, and the moment his move hit the air. There were 8 of Naruto's afterimages that were shattered. He finally knew the danger, and he definitely encountered a monster. According to legend, even the 3 generations of Hokage ended in hatred of Konoha's rebellion, Naruto Uzumaki. By no means a fool who looks from the outside. 8 figures, one faster than the other. The first one crashed into Han and was directly resisted by the boiling of his impact. The second hit him with both fists, temporarily breaking the strange force. The third was faster and made an even more strange move, grabbing the tail behind him. The fourth and fifth were already close enough to attack the armor at the same time, breaking through the vapor. The sixth punch hit him in the stomach, the pain was so great that he was about to fly backwards. The seventh hit him in the back in the opposite direction and knocked him back. The eighth kick flew like a crescent moon with barbs. Roundhouse kick. The speed was too fast, and it fell straight into the earth like a falling meteor. Han's body directly crushed the rock on the ground, smashing a large hole 10 meters deep. Everything was too fast, so that both he and King Mu only knew that they were being beaten, and there was no time to react. By the time he came back to his senses, the 8 Naruto afterimages had merged into one. Back to the point. From the perspective of the ninja of Iwayne village in the outside world, it was Han who shot out with all his strength, and as soon as he touched Naruto, he was directly kicked to the ground. Killed in seconds. Signboard Shinobu of Iwahide village, Gudo Pillar Force, Steam Ninja. Chinese. How could it be kicked like this with one kick? What kind of monster is this guy? He can't win at all. His ninjutsu and physical skills are at least shadow level. Why let us lurk outside the Qingling ninja village, waiting for this opportunity to seek death? It is clear that they have fought with Konoha and Sandian before. Some of the ninjas of Iwahide village retreated. Shut up, do you know, what is the cold lip? No matter how strong he is only one person. Even if we are a human sea battle, the wheel war will kill him. That's right, you guys look quickly. Han didn't lose, it was the five tails, and the five tails appeared. In the dust. The figure of the five tails suddenly appeared. The pure white beast fused with the white horse and the dolphin, and the five tails behind it seemed to tell the story of a time that has long been unknown. When it was originally created by the six Tao immortals using the power of yin and yang, their purpose was to guard the ninja realm. How can you lose easily? Only by holding the head high as the greatest tribute to the glory of the past, the perfect chant to the name of the tailed beast. The teacher is right, this is the power of martial arts, and only by becoming a martial arts ninja can you withstand this terrifying load. Naruto felt Han turn on the complete tailbeastization. Yin and yang chakra converge. King Mu looked up and was a tailed beast jade. The tailed beast jade soared into the sky, and even though it flew out in a straight line at high speed, it still did not hit Naruto. Instead, Naruto's voice sounded in his head. Sure enough, even if your tail is beasted, the mark of the flying thunder god has not been erased. This should be the brand that the teacher said, and it also requires the lowest martial arts patience to do it. When Naruto spoke to himself, King Emu's eyes were already condensed with infinite anger. Han is seriously injured and relies on his chakra to heal his injuries. In this case, there must be no mistakes. Horn fold. Horn folding. This move once injured Yao. It has a strong impact, and originally on the top corner, Yao should be the right one, but unfortunately it was folded off a corner. King Mu has always regarded this trick as his housekeeping skill. After all, the tailed beast jade needs a certain amount of time to shake forward. In the face of a martial arts ninja like Naruto, the speed itself is greatly reduced, not to mention the combination of the 8-door Dunjia and the flying thunder god technique. What a powerful explosive power and speed it has. Although the tailed beast jade is powerful, it is dodged before the attack. While Naruto was still standing on King Emu's head, he was rampant for a moment. King Mu directly crashed out. At the moment when Naruto was thrown out, this corner with good speed and strength, just bumping into it, it was enough to make Naruto's abdomen open a blood hole. Such a big horn, not to mention directly hitting Naruto, at least let him die, and he can't fight again. The above counterwords are just learned, Zuzu. It's so terrible, the teacher said, this group of situations should be reduced by 10 times, occupy a fulcrum, and lift the whole world. Naruto turned around suddenly, dodging the moment he dodged the attack, and directly hugged King Emu's horn sideways. The chakra on his body suddenly exploded. Pressed directly and firmly. I saw that the tall King Mu seemed to be held down by a giant and fell directly to the ground. The head was directly smashed into the pit. Words about Qingling. Naruto understood that the point was to drop 10 times in one force. The point that Sasuke realized was to use his strength to fight and find a fulcrum. Where did you find a fulcrum? Air. King Mu was furious. In terms of temper in the tailed beast, he is definitely the best one, but he has been humiliated by Naruto too many times. Especially just now, as a five-tailed being, he was directly killed by a human. Holding his proud horn with both hands, he fell into a deep pit. Han, wake up, this guy is a monster, join forces with me. King Mu felt the strain and called out to Han. In his body, Han has recovered 1/2 from his severely injured state. It is really worthy of the five tails, and the amount of chakra is also very large. Han opened one eye slightly in pain. Where the hell did this guy come from? Speed and strength. The human pillar power awakened, causing the tailed beast's combat power to increase again. The fog cleared. Once again, they saw Naruto. I saw bursts of chakra mist emanating from his body. Presents an orange chakra vapor. Will he boil too? Han's heart was shocked. What's going on? Isn't this boiling unique to him and King Mu of the Five Tails? Could it be that in the future, it will be changed to Steam Double Evil and Golden Horn, the same as the Silver Horn brothers? Speaking of which, this kid's speed and strange power are also extremely terrifying. It seems that it can really be soon. Han shook his head and dismissed the idea. No, He's not boiling, Han. This Uzumaki Naruto has a very familiar chakra breath. He is burning chakra, because the number is too large, all the chakra vapor comes out. King Mu analyzed it very well, and saw Naruto's state at a glance. As a martial arts shinobi, after the nine-fold tempering of the first part, he has transformed 5 times. The physique has long been different from the past, plus the chakra dantian has been opened. The amount of chakra he can hold on his own is massive. The Uzumaki clan, the nine-tailed chakra, and the martial arts shinobu. Step by step, this body can also be called the top 5 in the ninja world. As long as he can be promoted to a martial arts ninja, Naruto is expected to become one of the strongest physiques in the current ninja world. Therefore, he was able to withstand this special martial art. That is, the perfect fusion of the 8 gates of Dunja plus the flying thunder god art. I see. Han further analyzed. Do you remember, once Konoha, there was a legend of a blue beast, and now Konoha's strongest physical art powerhouse, Matkai's father. Quote. Mater Dai, Konoha Shinobi, opened up the forbidden physical technique 8 doors Dunja, and killed the 7 people of the ninja knife of Mist Hidden Village until there was no more formation of the group. Triumphant. This man, wherever he appears, means the mainstay of Konoha's generation of upper shinobi. The younger generation of Metke, Kakashi, Asuma, Sunset Red. Even older than the Murhanata of Konoha, Nara, Akamichi, Yamanaka clan powerhouses. When the name is mentioned, Han couldn't help but see Kai's plain face. He had to admit that in the ninja world, in terms of physical skills and strength, only 2 people could compete with him. That's Thunder Shadow and Metke. Now, Naruto was right in front of him, using a physical technique similar to the 8 gates of Dunja. How could he not arouse his suspicions? Is this rebel really Konoha's rebel? Han said coldly. I saw Naruto standing in the air, according to what Qingling said, as long as chakra was enough, he could make the martial arts ninja float in midair. Now that's what he did, and he was indeed as light as a swallow. Naruto folded his arms and looked down at King Mu. The same human pillar power, he has not yet used his real strength. Little ghost, where did you learn your 8-gate Dunja? King Emu's body emitted Han's voice. My teacher taught it. Naruto told the truth directly. Who is your teacher? Qingling 9 Tails. Oh. Han did not speak again, but King Mu said to him secretly. This little devil is talking nonsense, the name of the 9 Tails is not Qingling. King Mu retorted. Han understood the weirdness of things. That's right, he has too many flaws. How could Konoha teach this forbidden body art to the 9 Tails and then teach it to him? There is no such possibility. If I'm not mistaken, that move is extremely fast and requires the cooperation of the imprint, which is the legendary Flying Thunder God technique used by the Konoha Golden Flash and the Wave Feng Shui Gate. Konoha will pass on so many forbidden arts to a rebel. He is only a teenager, how did he learn it? As soon as Han finished his analysis, he felt extremely scared to think about it. King Mu paused for a moment before saying, before we struck, Naruto Uzumaki also used a move, similar to the attack method of condensing chakra. Inside is Jiraiya's spiral pill with Wave Feng Shuiman, and the shadow of Kakashi's famous stunt ratchet. This sentence once again confirmed the speculation of the 2. Shadow Doppelganger art, Flying Thunder God art, 8-gate Dunja, spiral pill, Rach. The signature stunt of so many strong people. Can you Konoha let the 9 Tails sneak away? Also taught to a teenager. It's all from the mixed ninja world, who village is not selfish, just take out good things in your Konoha village and let people learn it casually. If it weren't for Han, as the mainstay of Yenian village, he would know the detailed information of each village, as well as the various stunts and ninjutsu of the strong. Today is really going to be the same as Luo Sha's father and son, there is no return. Now it seems that Kakashi must be fine. This is all Konoha's conspiracy, maybe even the 3 generations and Danzo are not dead. This is a big chess hand. What exactly is Konoha going to do? Deliberately sending a message what S-class rebellion? It is clearly the conspiracy they use to provoke contradictions on all sides and make us weaken our strength. Quote. Han and King Mu turned around and left. Beat. Fart. Even the steam ninja, known for his strange power, Han ran away. The ninjas of Iwahide village quickly evacuated before they understood it. What's going on, Han? Don't ask. Konoha is going to carefully cultivate a Super S-class rebel ninja, which is actually a conspiracy. They want to start a big war and weaken the strength of the major ninja villages before the big war. Han is getting faster and faster, and he must pass on his latest analysis back to the village. Konoha, it's terrible. I thought that after Senju died in the past, Konoha's roots had entered a vicious circle of killing his own people. It turns out that they have been playing pigs and eating tigers. A forest with only one tree. Naruto walked under the tree with a blank look. Teacher, why did they run away? Because a chain of suspicion is formed. Qingling said thoughtfully. Teacher, what chain? Naruto didn't understand a little bit and always felt very powerful. You can understand that people misunderstand one thing in their hearts, but for some reason they don't open their mouths to explain, so the misunderstanding becomes a reality. Misunderstand. Can it become a reality? Hearing Qingling's explanation, Naruto was even more puzzled. What's going on? Don't guess you kid, our Qingling ninja village is not afraid of things. Qingling said lightly. But we don't cause trouble either. Naruto had an epiphany. No, we also have to make trouble. Don't be afraid, there is time to go out more to provoke. The body of the master is too lazy, he has probably not woken up for a month. Qingling said, raised his head and looked at the stars in the sky again. I always think the ninja world should change too. He frowned slightly, looking back on all the things in his previous life, he still felt incredible. Teacher, what are you thinking? Naruto went back to Konoha village this time. But there were a lot of things on his mind, and the biggest thing that made him sad in his heart was the death of Sandaime. Although pretending in front of Sasuke that he could give up anything. In fact, in Naruto's heart, Sandaime watched him grow up since he was a child, and he can be regarded as his grandfather. Now, there should be only Qingling left among his teachers and relatives in the world. I'm wondering, how long will it take for this world to develop martial arts ninjas like this before they can have a future? Qingling took a deep breath and said. In this world, there are obviously chakras everywhere, and the reserves of large chakras in nature are abundant, but people are ignorant and only know to obtain from within. If everyone can learn the so-called fairy arts, sense the chakra between heaven and earth from an early age, and stimulate the chakra in the body. If the two sense each other, won't they be able to further strengthen their cultivation and become stronger and stronger? Not everyone, like you, Sasuke, has their backs against a large tree, and there is no shortage of chakra at all. Only by obtaining abundant chakra from heaven and earth can you truly cultivate chakra martial arts and become a martial arts ninja. Qingling said and started the ninja run. Naruto followed closely and said happily. Teacher, I understand, chakra martial arts requires a staggering amount of chakra, and personal chakra is limited. If people can naturally obtain chakra from heaven and earth, it will definitely be able to achieve twice the result with half the effort. I just don't know, is there also chakra in nature? Quote. Konoha's ninja school taught him a lot of basics in ninjutsu. Naruto also knew this, but fairy arts were by no means a level that ordinary people could touch. Of course, this cultivation method and power is called immortal art, and there are currently 3 ways to cultivate immortal art. Its owners are all creatures born between heaven and earth, and they have developed their wisdom over the years, and they have comprehended this cultivation method. They are Miaomu Mountain, Longdi Cave, and Wet Bone Forest, and if they obtain their immortal cultivation methods, they will also be affected by the alienation of beasts. After all, this is not an immortal cultivation method that is beneficial to human beings and common to all races and all things. I must create a real, passable method of fairy arts to truly carry forward the chakra martial way. Qingling said, feeling a little joy in his heart. And so it goes. The more people who practice the chakra martial Tao, the more chakra will be permanently consumed. The higher the realm, the amount consumed is multiplied by geometric times. It takes a lot of chakra every day. At that time, no matter what big tube of wood Kagaya, the 10 tails will not be able to withstand it. He went up himself. Feel free to ask for it from the people of the ninja world. All I want is to lie down and sleep, turn over and chakra is taken by the world and exhausted. I can die several times a day. With the infinite resurrection system added, that is infinite double strengthening. A true perpetual motion machine. Qingling really felt happy when he thought about it. Sensei, you are really. Naruto ran through the night, he had never felt that he adored someone so much. What is called pattern? What is a real ninja? Hokage. I'm sorry. Uzumaki Naruto worships only one person, oh no, a fox, Saijin. In this life, all he has to do is become a second-generation spirit shadow. What's wrong, mindless silly boy? It's nothing, I just want to be like the teacher one day, really alone. Stupid. The smile at the corner of Qingling's mouth sped up. Both Sasuke and Naruto have his chakra on them, equivalent to a full nine-tailed chakra. The two are already perfect human pillars, and they have the same heart and mind. How could he not know what this guy was thinking? In that case, go for it. Teacher, there is a battle in the village. Naruto's shadow avatar transmitted the information back, which also meant that it suddenly disappeared just now. Attacked. Suddenly appeared in Qingling Ninja Village, and can assassinate one of his shadow doppelgangers, which shows his strong strength. Don't worry, there are still many strong people in the village, and your shadow avatar is not still a dozen in the village, just one. Naruto, for the sake of the teacher, I want to test you, this kind of guy who can assassinate your shadow avatar in an instant, how many possibilities are there? Quote. Oh. Hearing this question, Naruto thought about it carefully. His shadow avatar is divided equally by his chakra and also owns the nine-tailed chakra. After disappearing, it will return to the essence. That is, malice is also perceived. In this case, one will be assassinated, and it can only be said that the other party's means and abilities are very ruthless and special. I remember that the teacher said that there are many special ninjutsu in this world, such as the shadow of Shikamaru and their family, and the heart-turning technique of the Yamanaka clan. But even these are impossible to assassinate instantly, and illusion is impossible, and illusion is ineffective against the perfect human pillar force. I have a mutated white eye, and the teacher said that it is evolving in the direction of the reincarnation eye, or is it a perfect human pillar force that shares the teacher's heart and can be immune to illusion? If the other party uses the Flying Thunder God technique, they also need to leave a mark beforehand. Or maybe it's fast to the extreme, and the eighth gate of the 8 doors of Dunja gives up its life and reaches the extreme. In addition, what I learned may be a special time and space ninjutsu. After Naruto finished his analysis, he turned his head and glanced at Qingling, trying to confirm his guess. Swish. Qingling stepped on the tree trunk and walked briskly. Hearing this disciple's speculation, he couldn't help but smile with relief. Instead of answering right or wrong, he asked. Naruto, don't believe it, there is another you, or rather, 2 other you in this world. The other 2 me. This. Is the teacher joking? No, according to Naruto's impressions, the teacher never jokes. Could it be that there really are 2 other him in this world? That's also too weird. Teacher, I don't know, but when I met my mother's chakra in the sealed space, she didn't say that I still have brothers. Ha 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 ha. Qingling couldn't help but shake his head and smile bitterly. This fool can't even hear the parable. What are you laughing at, teacher? You won't be teasing me. Naruto's embarrassed face turned red, and this must not be known to Sasuke. Nope. Qingling knew that there were still 10 minutes to go back to the village, so he just had to talk. What I want to say is that there are 2 other you in this world. One is you who have the eyes of the chakra and are optimistic in your heart that you can become a Hokage. The other is you who have nothing but a warm pillow and a warm blood. Quote. Have a chakra eye. Nothing left. Naruto didn't understand a little. Once upon a time, there was a silly kid who was from the Uchiha family, and he also had a friend who was very cold and always seemed to be pretending to be handsome. He has a teacher, very calm and reliable. He also has a partner who is a girl, which is cute and he loves it. He wanted to become Hokage, but how could the Uchiha clan become Hokage? Qingling said a few words, and Naruto understood. Yes, the Uchiha clan has been wiped out. There must be many contradictions with the high level of Konoha. How can it be worthy of Hokage? This kid is indeed too naive. Thinking of this, Naruto was shocked in his heart. Wasn't he so naive before? 8. Fortunately, his Whirlpool clan was not harmed by the means used by that Tuanzang. Are you thinking that you are much luckier than this Uchiha boy who wants to be Hokage? Sato didn't wait for Naruto to answer before continuing. Have you ever thought that the Uzumaki clan is in the territory of the Fire Nation, but it mysteriously disappeared, leaving only a few people left? At that time, the Uzumaki clan was very powerful, and they also established the Vortex country and established the Uzumaki hidden village. With the pillars who had a good relationship with them, the two brothers passed away. This kingdom has also become history, besieged and destroyed by the kingdoms, and is now part of the land of fire, and your people are scattered all over the world. Quote. This. Only then did Naruto connect with the power and unusualness of the matter. Yes, my Uzumaki clan is much better than the Uchiha clan. Is it tragic that they are not the same? Could it be that their Whirlpool clan was also used and deliberately obliterated? It doesn't matter, from the small ninja village to the big world, it is nothing more than being targeted by the village, to being targeted by the major kingdoms. Their intrigues, their tactics are no better than those who bully you. In your weak childhood, ridicule, trip, bullying and humiliation. When you are strong, you fear, you are not convinced, and yang is yin. Only the day you are truly strong can you change the status quo. And you not only have to be strong yourself, but also attract a group of like-minded guys like you to become strong together in order to change the world. Quote. Qingling's words are undoubtedly an empowerment to Naruto. He himself guessed the story of this Uchiha boy who wanted to become Hokage. Because, Konoha Hokage is simply impossible to be a Uchiha clan. He's probably no longer alive. Since you are alive, you should also have no dreams and live as you hate the most. Teacher, do we also need these conditions to become a spirit shadow in Qingling Ninja Village? He asked cautiously. Of course not, even me, the tailed beast, you naturally have no problem. If one day, a big toad says that he wants to become a spirit shadow, will you laugh at him? No, but it's funny. Naruto smiled happily, and a toad swore to the sky that he was going to become a spirit shadow, which must be interesting. However, this Uchiha boy's experience is more special, because before his family collapsed, he disappeared, and his favorite girl was also in the hands of his cool friend. Although it was a misunderstanding, it also made him stronger in grief and hatred. Later, he took control of the Nine Tails with his own hands and killed his teacher, Wave Feng Shuaman. Quote. What? Naruto was shocked. It turned out that this man's teacher was his father and the source of the tragedy that led to his family. Teacher, what's his name? Uchiha took the soil, opened the kaleidoscope writing wheel eye, has a kind of time and space ninjutsu, divine power, and the ability is very fancy. One of them is to appear behind you instantly, and you can also distort space and enter a different space. Hearing this, Naruto couldn't help but quicken his pace. He understood that the one who assassinated one of his shadow doppelgangers tonight was this Uchiha Obito who knew the Kamui of the time-space ninjutsu. The girl he loved was long dead, and his teacher was killed by himself. Teacher, what about his cool friend who was misunderstood? Also dead. Quote. He's still alive, his name is Kiki Kakashi, and he almost became your and Sasuke's teacher. Nani? Naruto slipped on his feet all of a sudden, almost failing to stand firm. Kakashi is also a disciple of the Wave Feng Shui Gate. And have experienced so many tragedies. Then the two of them will inevitably meet in the village tonight, won't they fight? Quote. How can there be so many coincidences in this world? To do this, he picked up speed again. There are still 5 minutes left before returning to Konoha village. Tell me about the other you who didn't achieve anything. He never wanted to become a shadow, nor did he want to become a big name, let alone erase his partner, no misunderstanding, no destruction of his teacher. He saw through the world early on in the war, and he worked with his partners to create an organization called Shao. He wanted to change the world, but one day, the naive teenagers were deceived by the enemy's tricks and died without a place to bury. Perhaps, in the eyes of those big people, he was born to die if he was so obstructed. In this ninja world, there is no blood succession limit, no tailed beasts, no fairy arts. He is ordinary, he just wants the world to see the day when dawn breaks. But it ended in failure, and when his friend took his dream, they also turned into dark-blooded Shura, punishers walking before dawn. Quote. There are 2 other me's in the world. Naruto was stunned and grinned at the green spirit. Teacher, I won't die, I will let the world really see the moment when dawn breaks, and I will do what neither of them did. Qingling Yuguang glimpsed that there were tears in the corners of the young man's eyes. It is clear that they are all teenagers with boiling blood, but they are going to be distorted by this ninja world. To welcome the death of the boy of light, even the Shao he left behind has become a walking dead living in the dark night. Optimistic enough to think that he could change everything, he fell into pain and hatred step by step, until he killed his teacher. Tonight, he will also strike at his last friend and bury his young self with his own hands. Suddenly, Naruto looked up and looked in the direction of Saijin village. His gaze was resolute, his tone was categorical, and he did not allow the slightest doubt, as if he had firmed something in his heart. Hands are sealed. Shouted. 9 Llamas mode, open. Quote. Ha. Orange chakra trench coat, a throbbing flame of hope. There is light in the boy's eyes, bursting with hope and light, he wants to change this tragedy. Absolutely, absolutely not, let tragedy paint any symbol here. I'm going to stop all this with my own hands. Never, admit defeat to this world. Swish. Naruto was getting faster and faster, turning into an orange flash. There are still 30 seconds left before the Qingling ninja village. At a glance, the village is close at hand. Fighting broke out in the village. The white absolute, which is all over the mountains, is repeatedly erased by shadow doppelgangers and prepared for ninjas. But like mushrooms after rain, they continue to emerge one after another. Uchiha Obito and Kiki Kakashi meet, and they are standing in the corner of the roof. Konoha Kami Shinobu, copy the ninja flag. Kiki Kakashi, have you also become a traitor? Obito laughed mockingly, using Afei's frivolous tone. Don't use that camouflage, Obito, I'm here to carry out a mission, not a rebel. You were also a Konoha ninja until you killed your teacher. Kakashi waited, and the kaleidoscope chakra eye had already opened. You're quibbling, you're just as good as those guys, Kakashi. Are you going to use that eye to fight me? Do you remember how it came about? Obito, stop it, it's full of shadow doppelgangers here. Kakashi formed a handprint, determined to take the lead. Swish. In an instant, the orange flash held the kunai in his hand and slashed directly across Obito. The space around the soil is distorted, and it has long entered a different space. You are really like your father. He glanced at Naruto, who had failed to attack, and smiled coldly. Abominable. Naruto's backhand slash missed again. Wait until the strip of earth appears on the roof of another house. He also sealed the seal and successfully performed the shadow doppelganger technique. As long as the coverage is large enough and the attack is non-stop, your kind of time-space ninjutsu will also be invalid. Let me see your flawed time. 10,000 wait. Shadow doppelganger. Quote. Ah. Naruto attacked, directly causing tens of thousands of shadow doppelgangers of the 9 Llama mode to descend. Looking around, Qingling Ninja Village is already the world of his shadow doppelganger. Nonsense again. Kakashi had a headache, he didn't expect Naruto to use such a direct human-see tactic. Interesting. Obito wants to see what these guys are capable of, and more importantly, to see the weird 9 tails again. He thought to himself, as long as there is a big fuss, the 9 tails will definitely appear. Human-see tactics, non-stop attacks, this point is useful for most time and space ninjutsu. After all, no matter how strong it is, it needs a foothold. What if I never show up? Or maybe my ninjutsu can directly ignore the interval and the distance is far away. Obito looked at Naruto with interest. This kid's hairstyle is slightly similar to what he used to be. It is also the 9-tailed human pillar force, which must be the son of the wave feng shui gate who only had one side back then. In other words, the tragedy of the teenager, especially the humiliation since childhood, is inseparable from him. It doesn't matter if it's useful or not, if you don't try it, you can easily let you act recklessly in the village, that's the most hateful thing. Naruto's gaze was resolute, like a bright starlight, and it met his eyes. The originally mutated pupils have taken on a gray color. With the opening of the 9 Llamas mode, it directly adds a different style, and the shape is also changed, which makes it look particularly dazzling. He confidently clasped his arms with both hands, and the 2 shadow doppelgangers behind him, one holding a shuriken half bent over, and the other quickly condensing a spiral pill in his hand. As far as the eye can see, tens of thousands of shadow doppelgangers are performing various offensive ninjutsu. The way you smile cutely, the way you look when you lose, I like it better. Obito converged on the frivolity of his own disguise. Directly turned on Kamui. Kakashi couldn't be clearer when he saw this scene. After all, there was Qingling's chakra video call. He realized that Obito wanted to hide in that alien space. In fact, if a covering attack is really used, then Obito is indeed likely to be murderous. It's just that this Qingling ninja village will also disappear from now on. Even if Naruto was unexpected, he couldn't have been reckless to this extent. I'm curious how many of your shadow doppelgangers divide your chakra evenly, and how many times can they use ninjutsu? After that, the great consumption and exhaustion brought by the return to the body. Will you be directly exhausted? There is always a limit to the human body, even if you are the nine-tailed chakra, you will die. Quote. The strip soil analysis is very accurate. Tens of thousands of shadow doppelgangers are equivalent to dividing chakra evenly among 10,000. One spiral pill for everyone, the consumption is huge. As soon as the doppelganger touches, the feeling of tens of thousands of doppelgangers, especially the exhaustion returns to the body. Naruto is likely to exhaust chakra on the spot, as well as sudden death. However, it was the normal ninja he imagined. Cut. Naruto's body collided with both hands, smashed his fists, narrowed his eyes and smiled stupidly. I'm a martial arts subordinate. Patience under martial arts. Hearing this name, Obito's face was a little displeased. Why do these guys love to mention this word, the same as that weird nine tails? Do you really think that adding a title before your name will change something? Obito only felt ridiculous, too naive. These guys from Konoha village, even if they become traitors, are just as naive as Kakashi. I don't know how cruel this world really is, a group of little ghosts who are living at home. Chakra quenching, ninefold quenching, 5 metamorphosis. Chakra under forbearance, Dantian opens, unlimited capacity. In your eyes, it's just a title. Naruto knows that Obito is the kind of frog at the bottom of the well that the green spirit said. Less tricks, do you dare to make a move in this village? They're all going to die. Quote. Obito is about to disappear between words. The fighting intent in Naruto's eyes flashed, and all the shadow doppelgangers poured in madly. Teacher, let's shoot, I'm ready. Swish. At the moment when tens of thousands of shadow doppelgangers flew out at the same time, Sasuke Uchiha also walked out of the underground chamber and jumped towards Naruto's position with Kakashi. Qingling Ninja Village, above the earth. For no apparent reason, a trace of chakra floating in midair appeared. These chakras converge into orange, like flames, its color, just need to be known at a glance as gentle and warm. Chakra's large hands gathered in an instant, and he grabbed it towards the sky. All Naruto's shadow doppelgangers, Kakashi, Sasuke are trapped in it. Chakra's big hand faded and condensed into a chakra sphere suspended in midair. It's actually a sealed space. A battlefield suspended in the air. Is this the means of the nine tails? His strange eyes turned out to have this kind of power. Obito thought it was a bit strange, he wanted to escape, but it turned out that this thing forcibly imprisoned him. Although Shinwei is strong, it is a pity that he only has one eye. In the face of the blood succession limit that is comparable to the Big Tube Wood Kagaya, the blood succession limit of the 2-6 immortal brothers. The green spirit is enough to cross a planet and quickly travel between different worlds. His space-time ninjutsu was undoubtedly more powerful. Obito could have hid in a different space and appeared at another point. Ordinary barriers couldn't trap him at all. But Qingling's time-space sealing technique seems to be different, with a powerful and unparalleled repulsion. Once he gets closer, he is distorted, causing his divine power to be affected. If he could get Kakashi's eye, he could distort the sealing space, and then he would be able to travel unimpeded. Qingling's little test of the Ox Saber's time-space ninjutsu definitely couldn't trap him. That's the flaw in this sealing technique. Obito knew that even his one-eyed divine power was flawed, and it was impossible for Qingling's sealing technique to be without weaknesses. The spherical shell has repulsive power, constantly repelling the enemy inside to the inside. Inside is a sculpture of a nine-tailed chakra, suspended in the air, standing at the core. Sculpture that has no repulsion. Gravitation. There was a powerful gravitational pull that tugged at his figure. Sasuke stood near the sculpture with both hands in a volley, waiting for Obito to attack. The time and space sealing technique is just a shell, this is just to protect your ninja village. The repulsion of the shell and the gravity inside pulled my divine power together, making it difficult to exert its maximum power. How cunning, Ninetales, how well do you know me? Obito felt that even if Uchiha was reincarnated, no green spirit knew him so well. He could actually think of using this special means to hinder his divine power. In this case, there is Sasuke to guard the core. Naruto covered the romantic attack, and Kakashi waited for the opportunity. He's really a little dangerous. What a powerful force. Kakashi secretly said in his heart, is this the true strength of the green spirit? In fact, there are still some things that Obito has not spoken. He saw that this time-space sealing technique should actually be borrowed from the Shinra Heavenly Sign and Vientiane Heavenly Introduction. Terrifying. With the 9 tails of the Eye of Reincarnation, he is really precious today. Spiral 1000 Bird Rain, 10,000 Rain. Naruto charged his strength, and thousands of shadow doppelgangers attacked at the same time, casting a weakened move. Kamui. Kakashi also took the opportunity to twist Obito's body, and being in this special space was already hindered. Encountered Kakashi's targeting again. There was a hint of resentment in Obito's eyes. Kamui. As soon as he gritted his teeth, he also turned on Shinwei, and when he condensed the attack closest to himself, he also distorted himself. While defending, let yourself hide, but the speed is also much slower because of the green spirit and Kakashi. Bang! In the next second, while he was subject to this, he twisted thousands of attacks, and after all, he did not block more. External repulsion, gravitational double torture. There is also Kakashi's deliberate targeting. It caused Obito to fall into a moment of stagnation, and it was this small mistake that brought the spiral 1000 bird bullets in the sky. It was smashed into slag in an instant. Succeed. Naruto was just about to rejoice, but Kakashi's eyes suddenly changed, and they turned their heads to look at Sasuke's position at the same time. Laughter echoed in the space. Itachi's brother, you're a little slow. Obito appeared behind Sasuke in an instant. He has long been sealed, and the fire tilts like a storm. Fire boom. The fire serpent ravaged the sky, burning all the embers. Shadow doppelganger. Scapegoat. Subject to people, or will it be calculated? Obito has long said that this group of guys is too naive. It's just a fledgling imp. No matter how strong the strength is, if you do not have enough combat experience, you will also fall behind. Are you playing ninja? Bang. It's so fragile. The 9-tailed chakra sculpture shattered in response. It is obviously a substance that is enough to create a strong gravitational force. It should be sturdy, isn't it? After being burned by the flames, it was only smashed by Obito's punch. The moment he broke this move, the spatial sealing technique. Quickly unleash divine power and dodge Sasuke's double Chidori attack. This time, Kakashi's Kamui could no longer stop him. After Naruto cast a covering attack, all the shadow doppelgangers returned to the body, tens of thousands of shadow doppelgangers, and cast the spiral 1000 bird rain. Even his chakra amount would directly dry up. Even though he was not dead, he also fainted directly and fell from a height. Iroh stepped on the flying sand and picked Naruto up. Qingling's time-space ninjutsu was broken, which was something that no one expected, because even if he was attacked by Obito, according to Qingling's style, it was impossible to sit idly by. It's too late right now. Sasuke's double 1000 birds attack was lost, and killing intent appeared in his eyes. Don't mention that person. Why, isn't Uchiha Itachi your brother? He's very hard. Obito laughed and dodged attack after attack. Find the right opportunity to kill Sasuke with one hit. The boy's body fell from midair. Only he and Kakashi remained. There is not much left of your chakra, Kakashi. After all, this eye does not belong to you, and it will consume more of your chakra. You would never have said such a thing before. Kakashi said in a cold tone. People always become. Everything changes from the moment you kill Rin, Kakashi. The two face off in a life and death battle, and Obito does his best to kill Kakashi with one blow. The moment he passed by, Kakashi's body fell with a bang. Falling in the village, people looked at him in panic. There was fear in my eyes. Qingling Ninja Village is over. Naruto, Sasuke, and Kakashi are all dead. In the alley. Out of a small 9-tailed body, His figure grew larger and larger, until it was not much different from the body of a normal nine-tailed llama. Uchiha Obito, you are satisfied, you are on the ground, you can kill everyone here, is this the result you want? Nothing has changed, you will not be speechless, why are you standing there motionless? Quote. When Qingling spoke, both eyes were reincarnated eyes. There is no nine-hook-jade reincarnation writing wheel eye. Obito was stunned. If he wanted to assassinate Kakashi, he would have gone all these years. Obviously there were so many opportunities, he was in the dark, Kakashi was in the light. He has divine power, he has Uchiha fire, he has wind, fire, thunder, water, earth, and yin chakra attributes. Psychic outer path golem, a yin and yang escape technique learned from Uchiha Ban. With his strength, wouldn't it be more perfect to assassinate Kakashi while on a mission, and obtain the dual god power? Why not? He asked himself at the moment, looking at the corpse, still not taking his eyes away. Instead, he stood where he was, at a loss. He obviously killed even Kakashi, so let's just follow the steps. Obito was stunned, looked up at the sky. Moon, blood red. It shows the appearance of the eye of the nine-hook jade reincarnation. The young man took off his mask with one hand, revealing a slightly ugly-looking face. He was also very handsome when he was young. You actually showed so many flaws to me, but I didn't see it. Is this your illusion? Even if you deliberately give flaws, the guy who has fallen for the illusion will be self-righteously immersed in it. Obito roared up to the sky. He laughed loudly, tears in the corners of his eyes. It's so painful. So be it, stay in the world of illusion for the rest of your life. He turned to look at the Ninetales and said, Hey, give me a Lin, okay. Qingling did not speak, and Lin walked out of the alley, and the girl with her hands behind her tilted her head and smiled in the moonlight. It was as if he had returned to that summer. Leaves fly by your ears. The boy spends his whole life thinking about it. Miss more. Mosi measured. When I miss you, the cold moon is in the sky. Obito, why are you still here? Someone has sneaked into the village. Kakashi passed him. Swish. Everything in front of Obito is changing. Back in Konoha, he was still a teenager and had just become a Naka shinobu not long ago. Rin Hirano, Kakashi Kiki, Obito Uchiha. Someone smiled softly and touched his head. What is Obito thinking? Old. He raised his head and looked at the blonde man. The picture is flipped. In the blink of an eye, Kakashi's voice sounded again. Has someone sneaked in? Don't chase Obito. Saying that, Kakashi took the lead in protecting him. Obito was stunned, and this time he stretched out a hand and grabbed him hard. Don't go, Kakashi. Don't go. Quote. Huh. Yes. All the tragedy stemmed from this encounter, didn't it? Screen switching. Kakashi died in the village of Saijin Shinobi, died in the hands of Obito, and fell directly into his arms. Nope. Obito's pupils shook and saw that his hands were stained with blood. The nine tails are as tall as a mountain. A green spirit voice was emitted. So, Obito, is this the world you want? I heard that one day, people will go to the netherworld, to life, maybe Lin is waiting for you in another world. I'm waiting for you to go with Kakashi, find her. But before that, you shouldn't let her down, right? At least change the world. Let the light that has not shone upon you no longer be lost in darkness. Quote. Let that light. No more getting lost in the darkness. Before going to the past and looking for Rin. Change the world first. Obito looked up, his eyes full of tears. So what the hell are you going to do, Nine Tails? You used illusion before, calling me a puppet and telling me all the truth. Now, you have created such a meaningless world for me, an illusion that I know is false but cannot be broken, why? Why don't you tell me the answer directly? Quote. The answer. Qingling looked at him with pity. Don't ask me, ask yourself. Uchiha with soil. My illusion is called the spirit world, and when you ask me, when you see everything in front of you, it is your own imagination, and even knowing your illusion just now, and seeing who you used to be, Kakashi, Rin is also your wishful thinking. When you ask me, you yourself have the answer, because this is the world of your soul. Spirit world. Quote. The world of souls. Obito couldn't believe that everything in this fantasy world was his imagination. So what is the answer? Wake up, aching boy. The call that truly belonged to the green spirit sounded in his ears. Moment. Obito opened his eyes. Illusion lifted. The nine-tailed chakra sculpture is still motionless there. The fire dun cannot destroy it at all. Tens of thousands of Naruto figures stood in the air, staring at him intently. Sasuke was behind him and Kakashi was in front of him. The mask had long been taken off, hanging in midair as if time had stopped. Qingling's time-space seal was also not broken. At the moment when Obito made himself clever to break the seal, he fell into the spirit world. Now, Kakashi's face was covered in blood. He smiled with only one eye open. Obito touched his cheek with trepidation. Shuangshan Wei. Your eyes, return you. Kakashi's faint words made Obito's heart like a knife. Dreams, fragmented. He finally returned to this bloody reality. What double divine power, what eyes. When do I want you to pay it back? When am I? I want you to pay it back. But he couldn't say it, and the words were difficult to speak. Only tears can't stop flowing. Qingling was right, his heart, his soul, already had the answer. Obito didn't hate Kakashi for a long time. He didn't want to believe that the girl was really dead. Moonshine. The young man raised his head, and all the bitterness in his heart erupted at this moment. His lips trembled slightly, and he smirked. After all, there is no going back. Can't you go back? Ha 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 ha. What stupid thing are you talking about, Obito? Qingling's voice appeared. This time, it is a nine-tailed sculpture of space-time sealing. Chakra was covered and soon looked alive. Why don't I understand this truth when people can't come back from death, and why do you give me more hope? Since I'm awake, I'm not going to go back to sleep. Also, this kaleidoscope chakra eye was a burden for Kakashi. Quote. With the earth palm spread out, it is another chakra eye. He really didn't have a mistake with his double god power, but right now his transplanted eye was redundant, just for Kakashi. I won't ask for it anymore, Obito. Kakashi refused his offer. You hate me so much, you took Rin's life, I took Watergate Sensei's life too, Kakashi, you hate me so much, don't you? Kakashi gave him a cold look and said. It should be Naruto who really hates you more. His parents died at your hands. Just a few months ago, he dreamed of becoming Hokage, just as naive as you were back then. Naruto Uzumaki. Hearing this name, Obito did not dare to look back at all, and before that, he had a clear conscience in his worldview. But at this moment, he did not dare to face Naruto, did not dare to face the so-called evil, and he seemed a little panicked. The brewer of tragedy is him. How to face this teenager behind him, who ruined his childhood and life. Me. Naruto grinned when he saw everyone's gaze on him. I'm just here to stop you from doing stupid things, as for my father and mother. In the past, I might have hated you and defeated you and forgiven you. Now, I'm just an ordinary Qingling ninja village martial arts shinobi, and we don't need to forgive anyone here. The teacher said that we all have the right to choose who to hate and who to like. Even if Kakashi forgives you, I will hate you forever. The young man's laughter was like a spring breeze. No forgiveness. There is no need for mercy. He is a martial arts subordinate of Qingling Ninja Village, and if he wants to hate an enemy, it is naturally his choice. Obito smiled, breaking into a smile. This is the real ninja. You are more mature than Kakashi. Ninjas should not be machines that only go to complete tasks. One day, when I come up with a move to completely crack your double divine power, I will make you pay in blood. A rare trace of killing intent appeared in Naruto's eyes. I will be my own companion, but from now on, I will also lose my pursuit, and maybe I will be silent in this village until I die. He has double divine power and can leave here at any time. However, 2 spiritual journeys allowed him to see through the fog Uchiha and the conspiracy of the Absolute. I see my heart more clearly. It's just, he has been running all his life, can he really stop? Before the words fell, his body had already turned into pieces. Obito. Kakashi didn't expect that Obito would fall, and he would give up his life. Sasuke and Naruto had noticed this for a long time. They perceive that there is no malice after Uchiha wakes up with soil, and he is just bent on death. Stupid Kakashi, how can I possibly stay in this world without Rin? Even for a second, for a moment, I will find it difficult to accept it. Just let me go, that world, and the Watergate teacher will also make amends. His body dispersed little by little. Kamui was no longer his help, but instead tore his body backwards, tearing it to pieces. From a distance, there was no blood, as if it had turned into flying snow. In fact, Naruto wants revenge, but Obito doesn't want to stay in this world without Rin. Looking back on my life, it was all mistakes. I didn't protect the person I loved the most, let her hurt, even when I was not there in the most desperate moments. Do you think I really don't know the truth? If you don't know, how do you think that Wuin village has the appearance of being such a person and a ghost today? It's just that by the time I knew that the real murderer was the old thing Uchiha, it was already too late. Kakashi, you need to laugh more. Rin always made you laugh more. Naruto, I never had the slightest remorse for Watergate Sensei's passing. I was a complete demon. Please don't forgive me. I was a sinner, a butcher. He roared like this, but there was no hint of malice for Naruto to perceive. Obito's body was twisted little by little, torn to pieces, and he calmly accepted death. Travel to that world with Rin. Enough. What parting words, I don't like to listen to this kind of corny drama. Syllable. A slap slapped Uchiha Obito's face crisply. Less than a second. He used Shinwei in reverse, and the two calves he tore off were covered with turquoise chakra-light masses, exuding rich vitality. Meanwhile, Kakashi's eye has also been compensated by this powerful healing power, and a new eye is being conceived. The cyan cloak is wrapped in a sculpture of the nine-tailed chakra. He was only the size of a child, wrapped inside, and his whole body emitted orange and cyan, like a chakra intertwined like flames. You really think I can't break your divine power? Qingling appears. He is very cute. Reincarnation Eye Chakra Mode, which can perform powerful yin and yang escape techniques and bring back the dead. Strong gravity, repulsion is enough to make both planets drastically. The incomparably powerful spatial manipulation force is enough to create a tunnel from one point to another, connecting two different spaces. Because there are sculptures that were sent to Kamui space before. Even if he hides the soil inside, he can directly open it up and kill it. Give life to the puppet, as well as absorb chakra at will. Make Qingling more invincible. Now, as he truly turns on the reincarnation eye chakra mode. The whites of the eyes turned into purple, golden pupils, strands of blue light, and blue light around the edges of the eyes. Different from any known reincarnation eye. Say die and die, say live and live, you are really a waste. Even if you go to see Rin, tell him that nothing has changed in this world. Will evasion solve the problem? Since you believe the truth I told you, why don't you wait for the day when Uchiha is resurrected and let him pay in blood? Quote. Tisk. Either crying or laughing, do you want to stay in the madhouse of our Qingling ninja village for a while? Qingling's little hands pounded on the legs of the new earth from time to time. Want to die? Have you asked me about the first generation of Mei Lingying in Qingling ninja village? What kind of world should I create to live up to Lin? Obito has the answer, it's just that he doesn't know what to do. Do you still want to use infinite monthly reading to forcibly change everyone? Suddenly, his eyes burned, remembering something, he looked at Kakashi and asked. What kind of future do you need to create, where everyone is a ninja or is there no ninja? This question was asked by Qingling. Now, Obito wanted to know Kakashi's answer even more. I want no more ninjas in the future. Then I'll accompany you. The two looked at each other. A double divine power, an ordinary eye. This is a conversation that only they understand each other. Kakashi's father has always been a pain in his heart. What is the existence of a ninja? Fulfill the task and maintain world peace, or endure. When Kakashi spoke up and spoke out about his demands in public. Obito knows that Qingling Ninja Village can stay. Will there be a different answer? Obito held out a hand. It seems that everyone is different. Kakashi closed his palm. Lord Lingying, will there be a disagreement? Uchiha turned his head and asked Qingling, who was holding his arms bulging. What does the future look like? How would I know? You guys go find it yourself. Obito smiled. Kakashi also laughed for a long time. Syllable. A clapping sound suddenly appeared in the ears. There is obviously no third person. Obito and Kakashi had a sour nose. Through the netherworld, it rings in the ears. It was that, the first joy in the young man's heart. The strongest illusion. It should be a prison for drawing. The weakest cruel words. It is the joy of your youth. Time and space sealing technique, dome moon. Relieve. After completing this task, the teacher will have to teach. Naruto flashed past Obito. Left a cruel word. When I am promoted to middle ninja, I must challenge you. Obito replied with a smile. The kind that doesn't die. The time-space sealing technique is lifted. Sasuke, my arrow's doppelganger has already caught most of the white absolute. Naruto's tens of thousands of doppelgangers rushed towards Qingling Shinobi Village as if they were herding sheep. After a while, all the remaining white absolutes were taken. In his malicious perception, he pulled them out one by one. This night, Qingling Ninja Village has harvested more than 700 white absolutes. I have to say that this guy also made a lot of money. Sasuke deliberately didn't get the shadow doppelganger into the seal, just to catch more of this thing. Naruto couldn't be popular. He knew that according to the agreement, tonight should be the day when the green spirit took out the cultivation scroll of the martial arts shinobi. There must be more esoteric cultivation methods hidden there. Qingling also told them early through chakra that they would kill all of them. Above the top of the mountain, he was about to flee with a resentful face. Did this guy with Obito rebel? I thought I could use him as the best pawn. Noisy. Behind him, a figure with soil quickly appeared. Senior, don't you want to stay? It's just a doppelganger of me. Then stay too. Obito slapped a palm up, and the true body had already taken the opportunity to escape. He knew Obito's moves and threats, so he chose to flee early. What does Lingying need so much Baiju for? Obito pulled up the doppelganger, looking puzzled. The secret of martial arts ninjas, maybe it is related to the cultivation method of martial arts ninja. Kakashi also appeared, moving a little slower than Obito. Oh. It is also a martial arts ninja. To put it divinely, is the strength of the spirit shadow related to this? Quote. Obito noticed it a long time ago. Naruto is very strong, and his chakra is probably far beyond his imagination in the spirit world. Maybe you can really attack him with full coverage without dead ends until you kill him. However, he already possessed the dual divine power, and the interval between the intensive continuous attacks for 5 minutes would appear, and the hidden danger of danger had been eliminated. Instead, Naruto's mutated gray eyes had a strange feeling. There is a feeling of developing towards the alienated reincarnation eye of the green spirit. He really deserves to be a disciple of Hokage, whether it is Sasuke, who has kaleidoscopic chakra eyes, or Naruto should not be underestimated. I'm going to go too. Kakashi was more curious than Obito about the cultivation methods of the martial arts shinobu, because he had already experienced the power of the chakra martial arts. The night breeze blew through the forest, and Kakashi glanced at his feet in amazement. A small toad jumped to his feet and left. The little one is bouncing around. Jump in the direction of Qingling Ninja Village. Qingling Shinobi Village. In the middle of the night on the central square of the village. Still gathered most of the villagers, ninjas. These lives in the village make them look forward to the future. Now, more than 700 Baiju were trapped in the square, and no matter how they struggled, they could not untie their restraints and seals. The little fox unlocks the reincarnation eye chakra pattern. Return to gentle warm tones. Standing on a stone pier, he cleared his throat. Mom, how come these white uncles can't wear clothes? Are they worse than we used to be? Don't look, Agawa Lang. As the woman said this, the finger seams that covered her eyes couldn't help but change a little because the wind was too strong. Listen to my Lord Arrow. It was written in the Ninja Elementary School Encyclopedia compiled by Hokage-sama. This thing is called Baiju, which is very outrageous. I also heard that I could read that book myself. What? Don't you think it's a shame to practice chakra martial arts with a group of children? The reserve ninjas were noisy, and they were not recognized by the Blue Spirit Ninja Village because they lost their ninja qualifications. Therefore, they are all just preparing ninjas. Of course, I have read it myself for a long time, and my cultivation has also advanced by leaps and bounds, and when I have the opportunity, I must bring my mother and brother here. Compared to the days of the Wind Country, it is simply one by one. This former shinobu of the Sand-Hidden Village raised his eyebrows proudly when he spoke. Che, to tell you the truth, I have already learned, I just don't want to be the first to admit it, but it should be very good if my father and his old man can spend their old age here. Konoha Muranaka Shinobu, who previously claimed to be ashamed to practice chakra martial Dao, told the truth. Recently, I heard your wind shadow Luosa say that in the future, the village will give children and the elderly all kinds of subsidies, even if they lose their parents and children due to disasters, diseases, etc., they can have food and clothing. What do you call us wind shadow? Lao Su is now a prepared ninja in Qingling Ninja Village, you kid talk to me rules. Che, I will definitely become a shinobi before you, and I will definitely pick up my parents before then. I heard about Naruto, Sasuke is a disciple of the Blue Spirit. After being promoted to martial arts shinobi at the earliest, each was allowed to fulfill a wish. He didn't want anything. I just hope that I can pick up my father and mother when the time comes, and I have a sister. Whether you can be a ninja in Konoha village, or give the daimyo a farming field in the land of fire. It's good to be young and strong. Once you are old and sick, then you have to go hungry, and once your savings are used up, this life is equal to the end. Only Qingling Ninja Village is different. Sickness, aging, children, learning don't have to cost themselves. Only daily life, firewood, rice, oil and salt. Even the house has been built, as long as you practice carefully and complete the tasks within your part. As ninjas, they live precariously. Why don't you want to risk your life while making your family's life better? Villagers, prepared ninjas, children. I love Ro, Rosha, Kakashi, Obito, Naruto, Sasuke. One by one, his gaze focused on Qingling. He looked around and glanced at everyone. Fang Kai spoke. I want to talk about two things tonight. One is cultivation, the cultivation scroll of the ninja chapter under chakra, which is also the main learning content of the elite department of the Ninja Academy. A verdant scroll hung in the air and appeared in front of Naruto and Sasuke. At the same time, there is also a golden quest scroll. I'll come this time. Naruto snatched the cultivation scroll, and Sasuke took the task scroll. However, there is a corner of the eye that makes the content real. Chakra Martial Arts, Volume 2 Compulsory Practice. Chapter 1, Chakra 9 Turns, the possibility from Chi to liquid. Chapter 2, Martial Will, the necessity of yin and yang escape techniques. Chapter 3, Lower Ninja Combat, interpretation of martial arts. People all craned their necks, trying to see the contents of the scroll. Sasuke, however, opened the quest scroll after being curious. At this time, Qingling also raised his little hand. Open your mouth again. Everyone can see that there are more than 700 experimental questions available here. It will make efforts for the chakra martial arts of our Qingling Ninja Village, the improvement of our living standards, and the scientific research work of this world. To that, let's celebrate. The Blue Spirit Shinobi Village, after the Ninja Academy, the Ministry of Guards, appeared an indispensable part. Scientific Research Department. Welcome Big Snake Pill is the head of our Scientific Research Department. What he has to do is to refine all kinds of chakra elixirs, refine chakra martial arts ninja tools, and seek immortality, the possibility of breaking through chakra's restrictions. Everyone was stunned for a moment. The second thing that Qingling announced, most of them did not understand. However, Orochimaru understood. He is no longer a marginal figure. He's spoiled. The pen in his hand quickly noted this scene. He burst into tears, recalling every night he had spent seeking immortality, cultivating hard. It's all worth it. Thanks for watching, please subscribe and support our channel.